it's the Bill Snyder formula, to be quite honest. And that's why K-State has been so successful, obviously, is because with that kind of a formula, you can stay in football games, especially when you play disciplined. And I think that's something we've grown to expect over the years. I mean, that's death, taxes, and disciplined Rockhurst football from Tony Severino's squad. I think they had the ability to stay in this game, but I think they are, kind of like we're talking about Miege and Goddard, it's a similar situation. I think when you look at it, CDC has a clear advantage, a decisive advantage on paper, but Rock has gotten this far, and they've been in this game before. They're so used to playing in these kind of matchups. I think that they have a chance to make it interesting, but they've got a lot to overcome to be able to take down CDC today.
All right, if you can do this in 60 seconds, I'm going to be watching that Aquinas game also on A10varsity.com. I'm going to have everything going. I'm going to have so many windows open on my laptop. But in that Aquinas-Wichita Northwest matchup, you've got guys who are committed to, I just lost my place here, you have commitments for kids going to Oklahoma, kids going to Iowa State, kids going to Oklahoma State. I mean, the level of talent on display in this game is going to be off the charts.
That is going to be a fabulous football game. I am extremely excited to watch that one. It's going to be physical. Both those teams love to run the football. We all know about Randy Dreiling and his flex phone system that he imported from Hutchinson to Aquinas, and we're really seeing it come to fruition this year with the absolutely massive offensive line that he has, led by sophomore Jaden Roberts there at Aquinas. And Wichita Northwest, they have a running back that's committed, and Brees Hall that's committed to Iowa State, that is a big, physical, nasty running back. They have a defensive end committed to Oklahoma, and Marcus Hicks, who's one of the best players in this part of the country. I mean, they are going to – this is going to be an absolute dogfight and should be a really fun game to watch. If you're at home today, if you're like me, you're watching Ohio State and Michigan right now, be sure to get your laptop out, get your tablet out, pull out A10varsity.com, and take a look. This is going to be a tremendous football game, and you're going to see not just the big names with those guys, but obviously, Mahalski, the offensive lineman from Aquinas, committed to Oklahoma State. Jaden Russell, who I believe will be the first Kansas prospect to commit to Les Miles and the Kansas Jayhawks, the 3-star safety from St. Thomas Aquinas. I mean, there are players all over this field. Tank Young, who's one of the top running backs in the state of Kansas and in Kansas City already, as I believe just a sophomore for the Saints. I mean, there are tremendous football players at every position. That is, of all the matchups, I think that one might be the most fun to watch.
Hey, Randy Withers, enjoy the day today watching all these games on 810varsity.com and through the 810varsity YouTube channel. Have fun. Sit back and relax. Take it all in. I know you're going to have fun.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much, Brad. Enjoy it. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you. You too. That's Randy Withers from Rivals.com. Right now we got a couple of minutes left before the final break. Want to bring in our broadcast team of Tim Spurl and Jeremy Crabtree. Jeremy, I've been following you on Twitter all morning, and you said the entire town of Derby is out to watch their team take on Blue Valley North. Hopefully all the folks in Stillwell have made their way to the stadium, because this is huge. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah, no, the Blue Valley North crowd did show up, but it's nothing like what we're seeing on the home side from the green-clad Derby Panther fans, and Brandon Clark and his program, they represent, and boy, oh boy, there does not look like there's an empty seat on this side for the Derby fans.
Well, we all know in the Kansas City area, we all know Graham Mertz. In fact, everybody in the state of Kansas and the Midwest and probably the country who follows high school football knows about Graham Mertz. But on the other side for Derby, I saw you tweet out about Trey Washington, the running back over there at Derby. And what is he, a 2020? He's a 2020 kid and already starting to get some looks?
He is. He's got 21 touchdowns, averaging only 8 yards a carry, 1,600 yards rushing, and he's I visited with Brandon Clark, the coach at Derby, this week, and Trey's kind of been overshadowed by a lot of the other players that they've played against. There's multiple kids at Topeka High that they played a couple weeks back. Manhattan High's got a running back, and obviously everybody knows about Graham Mertz, and everybody talks about all these other big-time players that the Derby's faced, but Trey Washington has gone out in every single game, has put Derby on his back and carried them to the state championship game. So he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's strong, he's physical, but he does have that breakaway speed, and he's going to be the key to this Derby Panther offense tonight. And Blue Valley North's got to find a way to slow him down.
And for Blue Valley North, fellas, Graham Mertz, as we said, known commodity, he's committed to Washington, but they've seen some guys really come on this year. And their running back, Pishik Hickson, who's committed to Michigan for crying out loud. So he's going to be battling with Graham Mertz for the next 4 and 5 years. And also Cameron Burt has really stepped up as a wide receiver. So Blue Valley North, after starting 0-3, Graham Mertz got healthy. They came back. They've been on a roll. They've won 9 straight games. And to me, they look like they have as good a chance as anybody.
Yeah, and I actually had the opportunity to talk to Andy Sims this week as well. And, I asked him because, again, last week we actually saw other people step up. Eric Roberts had 11 catches in that game, almost 200 yards receiving in that game against Olathe North. And he said, as the season's progressed, start of the year, it was, they were pretty one-dimensional. It was throw it up to Cameron Burt, see if he can make a play. But then Pesic Hickson came on, and all of a sudden they added another dimension. And now Eric Roberts steps up. They added another dimension. He said, you look at the numbers, and it is pretty even across the board. Obviously, Cameron Burt has put up astronomical numbers, but you look at the other guys in this offense. Eric Roberts, 55 catches. Sean Hendershot, 44 catches this year. Pesic Hickson out of the backfield, 50 catches. So they are very balanced, and he said it's just been a learning process. They found out what they got as the year progressed. They've been better. Obviously, the offense has figured it out as they've gotten going, and they are absolutely rolling at the right time of the year, and it's a very balanced attack, and that's what makes them so hard to defend, is it's not one or two guys. He's got so many options, and the guys run really good routes, and the play calling is great, and when you've got so many different playmakers, who do you key in on? Because that's what Sims said to me. If you got one guy and the other team's got one good guy that can take him out, it's null and void. So you have to have other guys step up, and that's exactly what we've seen, especially in these playoffs.
All right, fellas, I got my final time out here, and then it's yours the rest of the day. And I'm going to pull up a laptop on my couch and have about 6 windows open and watch all the games, and of course be listening to you guys, Blue Valley North and Derby. It's live here on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 AM. It's available on 810varsity.com and also the YouTube channel for 810 Varsity. Fellas, have a hell of a game today, and look forward to these Kansas City teams doing well.
Sounds good. We're ready to strap it in.
All right, Tim Spurl and Jeremy Crabtree will have the call of the state championship. Kansas Class 6A, Blue Valley North and Derby, 9-3 versus 12-0. Division I talent all over the field, and it's a rematch of last year's title game that saw Blue Valley North win its first title. My name is Brad Porter. Thanks to Rudy Salazar, Chad Rader, and Randy Withers. High school football state championship is next here on ESPN Kansas City.
What are we looking at time-wise, guys?
It says 10 minutes on the clock. They do this thing where they introduce all the players and shit. So
okay,
you can take like a 5-minute break or so, and then we can run with it from there. We got plenty to talk about.
All right, perfect then.
Cool.
Jumpstart your education today with Colby Connect. With Colby Community College online classes, you set the schedule, you set the place, with credits that transfer to local colleges and universities at a fraction of the cost. College couldn't be any easier to fit into your life. We even have 24/7 tutoring available. Take affordable and transferable courses from an accredited nonprofit community college with one of the highest graduation rates in the nation. Connect here, go anywhere. Register for online classes today.
America never stops. Thanks to the financial support of Farm Credit, neither do the farmers and ranchers who call her home. Since the beginning, we've been helping rural America show the world what hard work can achieve. But the job is far from over. And as rural America grows further, we'll be there, just as we have for 100 years.
Sharp Brothers Seed Company. Family owned in the heartland, Sharp Brothers has been personalizing its customers' seed buying experience for nearly 70 years. serving landowners, ranchers, homeowners, and businesses across the region with years of experience with individual species and creating custom seed blends.
A trusted source for quality seed from quality people. Sharp Brothers Seed Company.
Welcome to Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in Oakley, Kansas on I-70 at exit 76. I-70, after all, is America's Main Street, and we're right here on Main Street for you. Now that I'm an Oakley resident, I still come in almost every day, and I sit and listen to the conversations of the people around me. You know, the guys who are talking about the big elk they just bagged, or the folks who are taking their kid to college for the first time. People just traveling up and down the highway. Real people, just like you and me. And they find just what I find here, real people to serve them. There's history, there's scenery. We hope you'll stop and see us soon. Welcome to Oakley.
Yost Farm Supply, with locations in St. Francis, Goodland, and Imperial, Nebraska, has a wide variety of New Holland farm machinery to accommodate your farming needs. From their state-of-the-art combines, tractors, sprayers, hay tools, and balers, all to go along with their professional and friendly parts and service departments. You can rest assured that with New Holland and Yost Farm Supply, you'll be farming smarter and not harder. Find them online at yostfarmsupply.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by the Sports Medicine and Performance Center at the University of Kansas Health System. Find them at sportsmedicine.kansashealthsystem.com. And by A&B CarStar, serving Kansas City since 1964. A&B CarStar, locally owned and operated with 5 convenient locations in KC.
Welcome to Emporia, Kansas, home of the Kansas Class 6A State Championship game. And today, a rematch that's been 365 days in the making. Last year, we watched Graham Mertz lead Blue Valley North to their first state title in program history as they took down the Derby Panthers 49-42. We fast forward a year and we pick up right where we left off. Derby and Blue Valley North have clawed their way back into the state championship game. I'm Tim Spurl. He's Jeremy Crabtree. And Jeremy, it's grudge match time here in Emporia.
Tim, in the dark night, the Joker asks, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Guess what? We're about to find out that answer. Graham Mertz, the 4-star Wisconsin-bound quarterback, has led Blue Valley North to a second straight 6A title game with 1,495 yards and 22 touchdown passes, and 3 more touchdowns on the ground here in the playoffs. There are teams that don't have that many passing yards for an entire season. For the season, Mertz has 3,600 yards and 49 touchdowns. And how good is he? Derby coach Brandon Clark said he hoped that Mertz would sprain his ankle getting off the bus here today because he did not know how he was going to stop him. Well, Mertz has been on the field. He's warmed up. He looks great. But what makes this such an intriguing battle is Derby's defense is, on the flip side, so outstanding. They've been historically good here. Had the Panthers decided to keep in some of their starters and some of their blowouts earlier this season, they would have shattered every defensive record in Kansas high school football history. Derby will just have to settle with having the best scoring defense in the entire state with only 7.25 points a game. And those numbers are even more staggering when you look at how Derby only gives up 148 yards a game and 109 yards passing. Something's got to give today, and I'm just glad we get to see these two amazing teams battle again for the second straight year for Class 6A.
Blue Valley North comes in 9-3, and Derby, they come in undefeated. They have not lost since that state championship game a year ago in this same building to this same opponent. And let's talk a little bit about that game last year, because a lot of these guys for Derby come back from that team a year ago, including their starting quarterback, Hunter Igo, who actually did not start the year. It was not the starter at the start of last year either, but he has put together a tremendous stat line on limited work.
Well, and everybody kind of remembers Graham Mertz leading the Mustangs down the field last year and getting that go-ahead touchdown and the 462 yards passing he had. But it was actually Blue Valley North's defense that turned the game around. Late in the third quarter, Derby was knocking on the door. Hunter Igo looked to his left and seemed to have a wide-open receiver, but Deshaun McCallop got in the passing lane, tipped the ball up, and grabbed the interception. And then there was later on in the game, there was a critical pass interference that got called against Derby on the defensive side of the ball on a fourth down that kept a Blue Valley North drive alive. And on that drive, they went out and scored the game-winning touchdown. So Derby is very well aware and has been looking forward to this matchup because they feel like they have unfinished business. And there were a lot of guys out there that played, but keep in mind there were a lot of guys that were out with injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball for Derby that did not get to play last year against Graham Mertz. They've been licking their chops. They're ready for this opportunity.
There was one more injury in that game. Hunter Igo actually got knocked out in the fourth quarter. They had to bring on that backup on that final drive down 7, and he threw the interception to end the ball game. Hunter Igo this time 100% ready to go, and you know that left a bad taste in his mouth a year ago, not being able to be on that field down 7 with a minute to go.
We talked to Brandon Clark before the game, and he said that Hunter Igo is the ultimate team player. Was voted as a team captain last year, and then this year he was voted as the team captain. There wasn't a single player that did not have Hunter on their ballot. So it was kind of crazy. He kind of came into the season expecting to only play on the defensive side of the ball, but got thrust back into quarterback again in that Bishop Carroll game, the closest game that they've had all season, and he is blossomed. He's put up big numbers. 1,000 yards passing, 750 yards rushing. He just knows this system inside and out, and he's what makes this team go.
And he's not a true quarterback either. This is a guy that originally was playing on the defensive side of the ball. This guy is a football player in every sense of the word.
And that's what Coach Clark said, that he spent all summer just working on defense, didn't throw a ball all summer long. And, we see quarterbacks that do 7-on-7, work with the receivers on timing, work on the playbook all summer long. He didn't do that because he was going to play safety and outside linebacker for the Panthers. But here he is leading his team back to another state championship appearance.
Now on the other side of that coin, Blue Valley North, they've been all offense in these playoffs and throughout the regular season. This is an offense that's put up staggering numbers, 46 points a game, 357 yards through the air per game, 100 yards on the ground. They've got playmakers everywhere. Amari Pesic-Hickson, a Michigan commit, Cameron Burt, who has set Kansas records in receiving this year. Outside of him, you've got, again, Eric Roberts, who's got 14 touchdowns this year. Sean Hendershot, who's got 478 yards, 5 touchdowns through the year. And, Amari Pesic-Hickson, mentioned him already at tailback. He's also caught 14 touchdowns out of the backfield.
It's crazy, and I asked Brandon Clark, the coach of Derby, how they're going to defend this Blue Valley North offense, and he said, I'm not sure yet. I think he was kind of kidding, but he said you can't put 11 in the box against them because they're going to throw the ball deep on you. You also can't blitz them on every play because Mertz is so good at distributing the ball short to his receivers. And it's been other guys like Amari Pesic-Hickson that's stepped up, and Cameron Burt has also stepped up, but it's Sean Hendershot and Eric Roberts, the two guys that have stepped up big in these playoffs. Hendershot had 7 receptions for 101 yards last week against Olathe North, and then Roberts, 11 receptions, 192 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Guess what? He also had a couple big drops, including one that led to a pick 6, so his numbers could be even bigger. So it's going to be guys like that today. They're going to have to step up and make a difference because you guarantee they're going to do everything they can to kind of slow down Pesic-Hickson on that running attack for Blue Valley North.
I asked Brandon Clark this week, I said, compare Blue Valley North to one team you faced this year. He said he couldn't. I mean, he saw spread teams throughout the year, teams that wanted to throw it around, but he did not see one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country all season. He gets him for the second time in his career this afternoon. We are moments away from kickoff, and it is rocking here in Emporia. They said it in the pregame. The entire town of Derby is out here for this one. They are on the home side. They've been making noise. They've been tailgating for the last 3 hours out here in Emporia, Kansas. And Jeremy, boy, this is a game that we have been waiting for literally since August.
And the weather could not be more perfect. We're here in Emporia State's the Hornets home field, Jones Field, and it's great. It's 60 degrees, and it's early fall weather, not late fall weather. Who would have known that there might be a blizzard coming to Kansas City, Kansas tomorrow? But this is great great field, great environment, and we're locked and loaded for what should be an outstanding matchup against the two top teams in Class 6A.
A little bit of wind, not much of it. Blue Valley North, they're going to get a chance to touch the football first this afternoon. Derby will kick off right to left. Blue Valley North will come left to right across your radio dial, across your computer screen. If you're watching us on 810varsity.com, if you're listening to us, we're on 94.5 FM, 1510 AM in Kansas City. Blue Valley North in their all-white unis. They've got the Mustang on the side of the helmet. Derby in their green uniforms. They've got the white helmet. We're ready for football in Emporia. A grudge match from last year's 6A state championship game. Derby, Blue Valley North for the 6A title for a second year in a row. Jackson Syring has got it teed up. The run-up, the boot, and we're underway in Emporia. A line drive kick to the far side is going to be picked up on 2 hops near the 3-yard line by Pesic Hickson. He is going to get up to the 13-yard line and get drilled by 3 Derby Panthers, and here come the Mustangs of Blue Valley North.
Yeah, that's the one thing that gets so overlooked with Derby is their special teams is outstanding. They've only had to punt the ball a few times this season, but their kickoff team is well-versed, and they do an outstanding job.
And already a man down on the kickoff unit for Derby, and that's their starting receiver, Jacob Karsak.
Just got kind of banged up there, holding his right knee. And you just never want to see somebody go down this early in the game with an injury, especially on a just on a kickoff, not a normal football play. And he certainly is. They don't throw the ball a ton on Derby on the offensive side of the ball, but when they do throw it, he is certainly one of their go-to guys. 21 receptions, 291 yards, but 13.8 yards a catch and 5 scores. So they certainly love looking to him, and hopefully that he can get back out there if you're a Derby Panther fan, because he is a valuable part of this offense.
And I know if you're listening at home, 21 receptions doesn't jump off the board.
No, it
doesn't. That's the second most used receiver in this offense. So again, they want to predicate the pass based on the run, and that's their second man. That's their second leader in receptions on this team that's helped off to the sideline. So here we go after the kickoff. Blue Valley North will start from their own 13-yard line, 4 wide in the formation for Graham Mertz. Movement before the snap, no flag. 3 down linemen for the Derby Panthers. 3 linebackers and 5 defensive backs out there for Derby. Mertz, short drop, is going to fire a hitch route far side and complete it out to about the 19, 20-yard line. And getting pushed backwards is Amon Thamasi, his first grab of the game.
Yeah, Thamasi is another guy that kind of gets overlooked in this offense, but a critical kind of third or fourth option right there on the quick out to get that quick 5 yards.
They go quickly back to the line. Mertz claps his hands, looks left, fires left, and out of the reach of Thamasi, and it's 3rd down just like that. They went right back to the hitch.
And now 3rd down, and this is something that both Coach Sims and Coach Clark talked about. 3rd downs are going to be absolutely critical for this Blue Valley North offense, and I'm going to be very interested to see if Derby decides to bring some pressure.
Their 3rd down go-to guy is in the slot to the right side. That's big Cameron Burt, 6'4", 200 pounds. Slot right, Mertz looking right. Now looking back to the left, rolling in the pocket, throws over the middle, and a dangerous pass is batted down, and it's 4th down. They were looking for a Hendershot, but great coverage by the safety Ionor.
Dax Benway was also right there, and there was some pressure, and they did it with just 4 down defensive linemen. They did not bring any pressure from that second level, and a nice 3-and-out job by this Derby Panther defense.
This is what Derby does. They get stops, and then they go score a lot of points. Offense averaging 46 points per game. Burt, let's go with a high punt into the air. Fair catch called for and made by Hunter Igo, the quarterback, near the 46-yard line of Blue Valley North. Great starting field position for the Panthers.
Great starting field position, and you just don't need to give this offense, because they're so explosive. You don't need to give their offense a whole lot of extra room to work with. They average 8.67 yards a play. And that's almost as effective as that Oklahoma offense that we saw running up and down the field last night for against West Virginia. This offense gets it done on the ground with Trey Washington, the running back, and Hunter Igoe in a big, physical offensive line.
21 touchdowns for Trey Washington. He is the deep back to the left of Hunter Igoe, who sends a man in motion across the formation to the left side. He is going to fake it. He is going to keep it on the option. Hunter Igoe cutting it up across the 35 and getting chased down from behind near the 30-yard line of Blue Valley North.
Yeah, Hunter Igoe is going to do that all night long. Not known for his throwing ability. Yes, he's completing 60% of his passes, but where he really makes this team go is his reads on those option plays.
They go quickly to the line, give to Trey Washington, right side, and he is dragged down from behind. Good tackle in the open field, and it's 2nd and 9.
As L.J. Brown, the defensive end, he's had a big playoff and somebody that they're going to have to find a way to block. He's a big guy.
Trey Washington's slippery, but he couldn't get away on his first carry of the afternoon. 10:47 to go first quarter. Blue Valley North goes 3 and out. This is Derby's first possession of the ball game, and already at the Mustang 29-yard line. Igoe, high snap, pulls it down, gives to Trey Washington, straight through the middle, a gashing run across the 25, rattled down near the 22-yard line, gain of 8 yards, and here comes 3rd and 2.
Winner of the third down battles are going to be critical. Unfortunately, we saw for Blue Valley North, their third down was long, 3rd and 5. Instead, now we have Derby, 3rd and very short, 3rd and 2.
And Blue Valley North, defensively, they struggle against 3rd and short. Olathe North killed them on 3rd and short in the semifinal game last week. Igoe sends a man in motion into the backfield. He is going to fake the jet sweep, and he is going to get drilled at the line of scrimmage. And it's 4th down, and again, it's L.J. Brown.
Stayed home on that zone read and did a nice job, but guess what? Derby, they don't really punt the ball very much. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
It's actually going to be a loss of a yard, like you said, 4th and 3 to go. And the offense, they do stay out there. Brandon Clark, he has no issue going for it on 4th down, especially here in Blue Valley North territory at their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, they've only punted the ball 18 times the entire season.
4 receivers for Igoe. Out of the pistol. Fakes to Washington, looking left, sets up the pump and go, taking a shot, batted away, and a turnover on downs. And a fantastic play made on the perimeter. And they give it right back to the Mustangs.
And that was a matchup they had to like. If you're Derby, they had Stephon Camp, the linebacker, up against Kevion Walker, their big-time tight end / receiver. And that's a battle that I know Brady Clark thought they might be able to take advantage of, and they go to it on 4th down. But Camp comes up with a big stop to bat the ball away. And Blue Valley North does their job to hold on that 4th and short.
Stephon Camp, he's listed as an outside linebacker, but throughout these playoffs, he's just been an extra DB. Yeah, he has done everything. That time he was on an island in man-to-man coverage, made a great play. Back with the Mustangs, 9:20 to go opening quarter. This is a 49-42 game a year ago. We've seen a 3 and out, now a turnover on downs on the first 2 drives. Mertz, low snap, looking left, now back to the right. He's going to roll, fired one down the sideline for Burt, who's got it in stride across midfield. He may have stepped out of bounds, though. And this one might be coming back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if he was forced out or if he just ran his route out. You always see it, the hat comes off of the side judge. That means somebody stepped out of bounds, and that's what Burt did on that route. Now, was he forced out, or was he just running his route out? We're going to see what the call is right here from this referee from the white hat.
This is a big call.
Yeah.
Early on in this game.
I think he just kind of ran his route out, kind of did an out and up, tried to break when he saw Mertz was in trouble.
And they are going to say he stepped out. That's the side judge, Nate Cleary, who is a 21-year-old kid officiating in a 6A state championship game. He might be the youngest official to do a 6A state title game, and he made the right call.
He made the right call.
Yeah.
No question. When Mertz scrambled, Burt does what he always does. He tries to turn and get vertical on the play, and unfortunately just stepped out of bounds. They're going to have to reset the chains because the chains moved. They shouldn't have.
Long discussion. Yeah, no, they shouldn't have. So now they get it sorted out. And now Blue Valley North is inside their own 12-yard line. They mark it just outside the 11.
And this is when Graham Mertz has been so good throughout these last couple years here. They've had their backs against the wall, and he's not made big mistakes. This is a big time here early in this game. He cannot make a mistake here with the shadow of the end zone at his back.
Let's see if Derby brings pressure. They only have 3 down linemen. Those linebackers not showing it. 2 left, 2 right for Mertz. Sitting back in the pocket, rolling to the right side. Looking over the middle. He's going to throw that way, tipped up into the air, and caught by a Mustang coming over the side. It was Amonte Mossy near the 24-yard line, and that was a dangerous ball. And lucky that Mossy was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he was trying to get it over the middle to, I believe it was Eric Roberts, and the ball got tipped up. Tremendous coverage by Jay Fisher, the weak side linebacker, one of their senior leaders, and just right spot, right time for Mossy.
Graham Mertz has started 2 for 4 throwing the football. That picks up 12. They mark it at the 25, 2nd and 8 play. Mertz checks the sideline. 4 on the play clock. Got to get it off. Mertz claps his hands. There's the snap. Gives to Pesic Hickson his first carry. Breaking tackle. Spinning across the 35-40. Making a man miss 45, and he's dragged down near the 46-yard line. 21 yards on a 2nd and 8 play.
And I'm surprised we haven't seen that early on. We saw that last week against Layton North where they went to Pesic Hickson early, and it paid off the big touchdown run. Blue Valley North's come out trying to gun against this very good Derby defense. Haven't run the ball effectively until that first play. And Pesic Hickson doing what Pesic Hickson does, getting big yards.
7:50 to go opening quarter. Still no score from Emporia, Kansas. It's the 6A state championship game. A grudge match of last year's 6A title game. Mertz is going to give to Pesic Hickson again. Ran into a wall looking for room, and he's not going to find any as he falls forward near the 47-yard line, maybe a yard on the carry to Pesic Hickson.
That play just did not look good from the beginning. It was all caused because of a high snap from center Austin Carnes, and he's been so good throughout his career putting the ball right on the money, having to snap it out into the shotgun every single play in his career so far, but that one was just high, and it forced just a weird timing between Mertz and Pesic Hickson.
3 to the left, 1 receiver tight to the right side. That's Sean Hendershot. Cameron Burt is in the slot to the left, and Pesic Hickson to the left of Mertz in the backfield. Against 3 down linemen, they're going to throw a hitch route left side to Eric Roberts, his first grab of the game, and he is stopped just short of the 45-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
And I think those short passes are going to be there all night long, and they're certainly looking like they're trying to avoid giving up the big play. It's whether or not Graham Mertz can be patient enough and take those 3- and 4-yard completions.
3rd and short. The give to Pesic Hickson. He is going to get met in the backfield, get slung around, and drop back at midfield.
Isaac Keener. We're going to call his name a ton this afternoon. The senior defensive end, their leader, their quarterback out on the defensive side of the ball, blew that play up, got right past Jalen Hunt, the right tackle, and just could not make any kind of move up the field now. We saw Derby decide to go for it on 4th down. No sign at all that Blue Valley North is going to bring the punt team on. Granted, Cameron Burt does punt the football. We'll see if they go for it here or if they do decide to go ahead and try to get the first down.
As does Graham Mertz. He does that pooch punt sometimes. Let's see if they give him a look. Now he will step back and flags, and I think we got a false start, but I think he was going to punt that football.
I think you're exactly right. Exactly right.
Even though the false start, no harm, no foul, as they were trying to punt that ball away anyway.
Now it makes it now even more of a sure thing that they're going to punt.
But if you still line up in that, you keep the returners away regardless. They have to honor the option to go for it. And now it's 4th and 9. And again, the offense stays out there, but we've seen Mertz do this. He'll step back at the snap about 3 yards and then just pooch kick it. And he's really good at this as well. 4th and 9, they line up to go for it. Mertz checks the sideline. Again, no man deep for Derby. And now Mertz is going to boot it. And this is a beauty. End over end, hits inside the 15, and it takes too much of a hop for the Mustangs and rolls into the end zone. A touchback, and here come the Panthers, but that's the right call, I think, in midfield.
I agree here. Let's get you a score update from the A10 Varsity Scoreboard. We're watching state championships all over the state of Kansas on the Missouri side a little bit later on this afternoon. And how about this? Down in Pittsburgh, Aquinas is now up 13-0 over Wichita Northwest in the Class 5A state championship game, PAT pending, and it's been all Aquinas so far in that matchup, and you can watch that game on 810varsity.com And we'll continue to give score updates on that one because I know a lot of Kansas City and a lot of Blue Valley North fans are probably interested to see what happens in that game, too.
Tank Young just had a touchdown run. He did not play in the semifinal game. Igo is going to give to Washington straight up the middle. He gets out to the 25 on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 play.
Yeah, it is now 14-0 Saints. And this is Aquinas is. We've talked about this over the year, Tim, that Aquinas have been so close, but have never captured their state championship. But now this is a big opportunity, up 14-0 over a very good Wichita Northwest team.
2nd and 5 play. Igo is going to pull it on the read option. Right side, he's got a lot of room. Hunter Igo picks up a block. He's across the 35, swung around to the 40, and dropped near the 41-yard line. Hunter Igo, 15 yards, and it's 1st and 10.
Patient running by Igo. Waited for his line to get the block. Tanner Cross, the left guard, pulls from left to right and seals the edge. And Igo just kind of waits, and finally it sprung, and he was able to get to the outside. Nice run for this Derby offense.
Igo quickly back to the line with the rest of this offense. Shotgun snap. He wants to throw. Pressure from the backside. He's going to sling a post backside. High and incomplete. And it was good coverage by Marco Collins on the backside. He did not have a receiver.
I don't think they're going to really beat these cornerbacks too often with just a straight passing game because we've seen these Blue Valley North defensive backs do well against the passing game. This is what they see every single week in the EKL. So you're going to have to be creative and to maybe find the tight end. And Hunter Igo's not known as an accurate passer, and right there almost threw an interception.
2nd and 10, 4:45 to go, opening quarter, no score. Washington right side. He's got blockers. He's got a first down. Trey Washington is across midfield to the 45 of Blue Valley North.
Boy, that was just a great job by the right side of this offensive line for Derby. And they like to move their linemen from left to right to left. Bryce Atkinson just blew up a huge hole from right tackle.
Igo, high snap. Gives to Washington, right side. Another big hole. Washington across the 25 to the 20. And he's upended into the red zone. Go the Panthers.
Nothing fancy about that. Just hand it off right guard. And Ronnie Washington, Bryce Atkinson again doing a job against Reed Spockman and Brock Anderson, the two guys on that right side for Blue Valley North.
And Derby wasting no time. Back to the line. Igo, shotgun snap, read option. He's going to run it left. Try to get to the edge. He will. Flag flies. He's across the 15 and gets dumped near the 21 by Camp. But again, a flag in the backfield, and this one might be coming back.
Yeah, 2 flags, so certainly thrown in the spot of holding. But that just shows you how explosive this offense can go. They went from one end of the field to the other in just a couple plays. And Hunter Igo and Trey Washington are just a tough 1-2 combo to stop.
3 flags thrown on that play. Everybody saw something on that one. 4:13 to go, opening quarter. And a chop block against the Mustangs.
I don't know if I've ever seen a chop block called against the defense, Tim. I've done this for a while. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Not what we expected to see there on the edge run. But it's 1st and goal now from the 5. Derby knocking on the door. 4:13 to play, opening quarter, no score in your 6A title game. This is Derby's 2nd drive of the game, and they're getting busy. Igo from the shotgun. He's got Washington offset to his right. They're going to run an option to the right side. Igo cuts it up, gets past 1, and he's down to the 3-yard line, brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, the entire playbook is wide open right now for Derby. Got to imagine you want to put it in Trey Washington's hands. 21 touchdowns on the ground. He's been your go-to guy inside the red zone for this Panther offense all season long.
Washington has touched it 5 times for 55 yards already in this opening quarter. Hunter Igo, 4 carries, 37 yards in the opening frame. 3 receivers to the right side. Washington is split left of Hunter Igo on a 2nd and goal. They've sent a man in motion to the left side. Igo is going to pull it. Left side, looking for the perimeter, spins around, and he's going to get drilled at the 5-yard line. Here comes 3rd and goal for Derby.
Outstanding job by outside linebacker, actually Sam linebacker Khalil Allen. Did not buy for the play fake and waited and kept outside leverage and filled the lane right when Hunter Igo pushed up the field to try to get that get toward the end zone. This is a huge 3rd down right here.
And this may be 4-down territory again for Brandon Clark. He gets this close to the end zone. He may want 6, may not want to run out his field goal kicker.
3 points aren't going to win you this game. I mean, it's going to be what should be an explosive offensive game.
Blue Valley North crowd making some noise. That play clock was low. They had trouble getting the play call in. And, yeah, first timeout taken for Brandon Clark and this Derby team.
Well, there's no score here, but we have two blowouts developing in Class 5A and Class 4A. Bishop Miege is up 21-0 over Goddard, and now St. Thomas Aquinas just went up. Looks like about to be 21-0 over Wichita Northwest. Tim, I don't know if I saw that one come. I knew that Aquinas was going to be competitive, but I thought Wichita Northwest had the athletes to compete with St. Thomas Aquinas. So bravo to Randy Dreiling squad. They're out there just putting it on a great Northwest team right now.
The sophomore receiver Theo Grable just caught a touchdown for Aquinas. He's a sophomore that already has an Arizona State offer at receiver. He has had quite a postseason, and yeah, like you said, Aquinas now up 21-0, and that's still got to be maybe first quarter even in that game. They got going a little bit earlier than we did.
Yeah, there's 30 seconds left in the first quarter down there in Pittsburgh, and boy, Aquinas has been waiting for that one for a long, long time, and they're rolling right now.
So here we go out of the timeout. It's going to be 3rd and goal for the Panthers. Blue Valley North looking to get a stop. Again, defensively, 3 receivers right, Washington to the left of Igo in the shotgun. Igo wants to option left, cuts it up. Hunter Igo is going to get dropped at the 4-yard line. Here comes 4th and goal and decision time for Coach Clark.
Yeah, there's really no decision, looks like, so far. He's keeping his offense out there. Great job by Nick Hafford and Tim Foster. The 2 linebackers read that speed option to the short side of the field absolutely perfectly. And, yes, they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Huge play here. Can the Blue Valley North Mustang defense bow up and make another big play?
Just inside the 4-yard line. I go out of the pistol now. Walks up to his center, changes the play call at the line. They snap it to Washington. They're going to run a reverse. They want to throw the ball. The receiver cuts it up, and it's going to get drilled at the 5. Davin Sims didn't throw the football, and he ran into a wall of white, and another turnover on down.
The trick play didn't trick anybody. The Blue Valley North Mustang defense was ready for it. They tried to fake it where Igo came out of the backfield. He looked like he was kind of trying to audible, and they snap it right back to Washington. Then they ran the reverse, and guess what? There were 3 defenders right there with Hunter Igo on the left corner of the end zone. They were ready for it. They rallied to the football, and what a huge, huge stop here early on for Blue Valley North.
If you're listening on the radio, if you watched the Super Bowl, which I'm sure you did, if you saw that Philly play, that was similar to it. Not the exact look, but they ran Igo out in the flat. They were trying to throw it to him, but Sims never let it go. Turnover on downs. Blue Valley North takes over from their own 5-yard line. Again, rough starting field position for the Mustangs. 2:16 to go opening quarter. This is the 3rd time Blue Valley North has had the football on offense. Mertz, trouble getting that snap. He's going to roll left. Looking left. He is going to fire an out route out of bounds, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, you can't have the snap be off if you want to get going. This offense is so predicated on timing. They love to run those short, quick hitches, quick outs, quick slants, quick seam routes. And if you can't get the snap to Mertz on time and allow him to get the ball out of his hand, then things are just not going to go right. And that's exactly what we saw on that play. And we've seen a couple times here early on here in this first quarter for Blue Valley North.
Empty backfield, and Derby may send pressure here. He's all alone back there, the future Badger. But Derby, only 3 down linemen, only 2 linebackers, 6 DBs for the Panthers. They only send 3 at Mertz. He is going to rainbow deep left side for Burt. He's got him at the 40-yard line, and he's dumped out of bounds, but a huge play for the Mustangs.
Tim, it's hard to put into words how great that throw was because he had Tyler Dorsey, the big defensive tackle, draped along his feet, and he still had the arm strength to throw the ball kind of even into the wind. 45 yards in the air from the end zone to about the 45-yard line, and Cameron Burke comes up with an amazing catch. We've seen that time and time and time again, but right there, that is why Graham Mertz is one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. What a throw.
And it gets them out of the danger zone. They were backed up on their own 5. Mertz was throwing that off the goal line. Now 1st and 10 from their 41-yard line. Mertz is going to roll left. He's going to tuck it and take off. Spin past the defender, and he slides down safely near the midfield stripe. Oh, Graham Mertz fleet-footed into the open field.
Well, and Blue Valley North sideline wanted a flag because Mertz slid, and a linebacker came flying up and tried to hit him a little bit late on the play. Jackson Syring, no call came, but Look at Mertz
Oh,
jawing.
he was barking at the official.
Jawing.
They marked him back shy of the 50. I don't think he liked the initial spot, but yeah, I think he's got a problem with getting hit, too.
No, I mean, I think the spot's fine because it's where you start to slide is where they call you down at, but he did not like Jackson Siring coming up with the close to late hit there. I think it could have gone either way.
He was barking at the official. 2nd and 2 from just behind midfield. Mertz, they're going to send pressure at him. He has time, steps up in the pocket. Mertz is going to run into a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. First man there, Tyler Dorsey.
Yeah, first time we've seen really pressure come from that second level for Derby. They've been locking up and just rushing 3 or 4 guys. That time they brought a linebacker and just enough there to cause the timing and force Mertz to step up into the pocket and get sacked.
3rd and 4, Blue Valley North struggling on 3rd down in this first quarter. 40 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter. From Emporia, Kansas, they motion Massey into the backfield. Mertz, they're not going to send pressure. They only send 3 at him. He's going to throw an out route to Cameron Burt, complete in Derby territory at the 44, and he gets out of bounds.
Tim, I was getting ready to say it's Cameron Burt time. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Every single time they look toward him, and more times than not, he comes up with a completion, his 96th reception of the season, and that was a huge conversion. Great job by the offensive line. Now, where we got a late flag here coming from the sideline, maybe the get back
sideline warning.
Yeah, the get back coach didn't do his job.
And that's not going to be yardage. The second one is where it's a yardage thing.
I tell you what, though, Andy Sims is not happy right there. He is not happy. He's holding both palms up at the sky at the referee. He's not happy with that because he's not. He's used to being able to get kind of on the field here, but it looks like somebody's really, really watching it down there today. But how about that conversion, though, for the Mustangs? Nice job on that 3rd down. Offensive line gave Mertz plenty of time to get the conversion down.
Empty formation, 3 right, 2 left, as we're at 30 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Off the 44, Mertz is going to fire an out route left side for Eric Roberts, who steps out of bounds. And now a late flag comes in. And they may say Eric Roberts got tagged late out of bounds. There wasn't much contact there. But that's where the flag came in, was where Eric Roberts got pushed out. But I thought that was more of a love tap than anything.
Yeah. Derby's walking backwards like they're assuming it's going to be on them.
Yeah. They're going to call a late hit against the Panthers, but boy, there was not a lot of contact there.
They're talking to Jackson Siring, the guy who did hit Mertz as he went down a couple plays ago on when he slid. So Siring's one of these guys that is all over the field for Derby. Coach Clark talked about if you're looking for a heat-seeking missile, he is that on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe just a little bit too much there at the end of the play. But you can't give this North offense free yards because they're just so effective at putting the ball into the end zone.
Puts the Mustangs at the 24 of Derby with 27 seconds to go in the opening frame. Again, empty formation. Mertz looking right. Mertz back to the middle, throws a seam, and is caught in the end zone by Cameron Burt, and the Mustangs are on the board in the opening quarter.
Outstanding protection by the offensive line. Gave Mertz just enough time to step into the throw, and guess what? He goes to old, reliable Cameron Burt on that post route. Tim, we've done, maybe 10 games over the last 2 years of Blue Valley North, and we've seen that time after time after time, and it is unstoppable. You had 2 guys trying to defend Burt, and his 6'3", 200-pound frame went up and get it. And how about Graham Mertz putting the ball right on the money?
24-yard strike and touchdown number 21 for Cameron Burt. Extra point up and through. 7-0 Mustangs on your ESPN Kansas City High School football game of the week.
Having guests over this holiday? Are your pipes piping? Is your furnace firing?
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
touchdown for Cameron Burt will pull him within 1 touchdown. He needs 2 touchdowns today to tie the Kansas touchdown record in receiving with that 21st record, 23. So keep an eye on that. Blue Valley North has got it teed up. The run up by Spranger and a high short kick, angled far side. It is going to come out of bounds. And we saw that last week against Olathe North. We see it in the state championship.
Oh, you know, I get. Yes, I understand you're trying to kick away from explosive returners, and Derby does have a pair of explosive returners, but I'm just not a big fan of giving the ball up at the 35-yard line every single time. In fact, Derby's going to make them re-kick the ball, trying to force them to kick it to Trey Washington.
And that's what they're trying to do. Spranger's got a strong leg.
Yes, no question. We've seen him put the ball through the back of the end zone multiple times in his career.
But yeah, like you said, they are just trying to keep it away from the dangerous Trey Washington.
And Mick Ionor's back there also, starting senior safety. So they're both 2 very explosive returners.
So we'll try it again, this time off the 35-yard line. Spranger is again going to kick it short. The up man's going to field it cleanly at the 30-yard line, across the 40, far sideline, 45 midfield, and dragged down from behind. Great starting field position for the Panthers again.
Again, you're playing with fire here because this Derby offense does convert a lot, and they do put the ball into the end zone. You know, 8.67 yards a play for the Derby offense, and we saw a lot of what they do really well running the ball. 51 touchdowns running the ball this season, and they moved the ball all up and down the field that last drive, but couldn't quite punch it in the end zone. Great job by this Mustang defense, but you have to imagine we're going to see more of Hunter Igoe and especially Trey Washington here after they had all of that success in that last drive.
92 rush yards in the first quarter so far for Derby. We still got 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Igoe is going to give to Washington. Left side, spinning off a tackle, near sideline, 40. Trey Washington runs out of bounds near the 39-yard line. That is going to be right at 10 yards, and they're going to move the chains.
He's not going to beat you with his speed, but I tell you what, he just finds the hole and he gets to it. That's the one thing you see a lot of high school running backs. They like to dance and they like to cut left, right, and not get the hole and go, but Trey Washington finds the hole and go.
Igoe, this should be the last play of the quarter. He's going to take the shotgun snap, fake it on the read option. He's going to cut it up straight through the middle, find some running room across the 30-yard line, get dragged down right there for a gain of 8 yards on first down, and we are at the end of quarter number 1. Back and forth they went in the first quarter, but it's Graham Mertz finding Cameron Burt for the first score of the game. 7-0 after the first 12 minutes. The Mustangs of Blue Valley North on top of the Panthers of Derby High School in your 6A state title game on ESPN Kansas City.
Family Law Services. Call 913-648-3733 for the law office of Michael A. Millett. Wishing you a happy holiday season.
Back to Emporia State as Hunter Igoe is going to throw down the seam low and incomplete. And if he brings that up, Kavian Walker walks into the end zone.
Wow, and that's the one thing, watching Hunter Igoe in warm-ups, he does not have the strongest arm, and he threw multiple passes in warm-up where he just short-armed it, and right there he had Walker wide open and bounced past that. That would have worked in basketball, but not out here on the football field. Now we set up this third and short situation. Last time we saw Blue Valley North step up. Can they do it again here on third and short?
Igoe is going to give to Washington, right side, looking for the edge, getting chased. He's going to break one tackle, get near the 31, and get roped down right at the line of scrimmage. Great job by the D-end, Reed Spockman.
Yes, the guy that was leading the Class 6A in sacks coming into the state playoffs has had huge games the last couple of weeks, but right there came up with another big play. No signs at all. The Derby's going to bring the field goal team on. Instead, they're going to go for it here on 4th and 2.
0 for 2 on 4th downs in the first quarter. Igo is going to motion Washington out of the backfield, empty set.
Quarterback draw.
10 on the play clock. Igo changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock inside 6. Igo, a quarterback keeper. He is going to get the first down. His tough running has got him to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, a little bit of kind of trickery right there. They pretended to call an audible. Instead, he snuck right up behind the offensive line, snapped the ball, and pushed forward for the first down. Nice job by Hunter Igo converting the first down.
Move the chains to the Mustang 26. They're going to give to Trey Washington. He is met right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Reed Spockman again.
Tell you what, Reed Spockman's not very big. He may be 210 pounds, but boy, he has made some outstanding plays here coming up throughout the last couple of years, and he's just an underclassman. He's got another year of this where he's going to get bigger and stronger, and you have to like that you have a key defender like him coming back next season.
This kid is an athlete, and again, he is a 6A sack leader. Reed Spockman with 10 sacks. 12 tackles for loss. He stops that one at the line of scrimmage. High snap to give to Washington. Bounces this one left side. Spins back towards the middle at the 24-yard line and gets roped down right there. They've got forward progress out to the 23. Call it 4 yards, and it's 3rd and 6 for the Panthers.
Yeah, Tim, I don't know if you saw in that play. We're starting to see some new wrinkles from Derby because they've struggled running the ball on short yardage situations. They've been spreading out their left tackles. The splits were just absolutely huge. Back to more conventional here on this play. Last play, the tackle was lined up 4 yards outside the lines.
Igo on a 3rd down, looking over the middle. He's going to scramble left, looking over the right side again. He is going to find Trey Washington in the flat, inside the 15 to the 10. Washington got stripped from behind. Ball comes out of bounds near the 5, and it's 1st and goal.
Outstanding job by Hunter Igo, staying patient and finding Trey Washington wide open there. Somebody on that Blue Valley North defense failed to account for him, and now it's 1st and goal here for the Derby Panthers.
They mark it at the 4-yard line. That's where the ball came out. They're going to give to Washington on a counter. He is going to push the pile forward across the goal line and into the end zone. Troy Washington has got the Panthers within 1 at 7-6.
Running right behind big Kevin Washington, all 285 pounds of him. And this was the Trey Washington drive. That's why he's playing with the chip on his shoulder all season long. That big catch and then the big run right up the middle for the touchdown. And we're about to be knotted up at 7-all.
Jackson sirening on for the extra point. He can knot us up at 7 apiece in the 6A title game. Snap, hold, kick. We're tied at 7 apiece. You're listening to the 6A State Championship on ESPN Kansas City, 94.5 FM, 1510 AM, and watching online at 810varsity.com. Stay with us. We're all knotted at 7.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America. We can see.
We're proud that the University of Kansas Health System is the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs and the athlete in you.
Siring has it teed up. The run-up in the boot high, short, end-over-end kick is going to be taken at the 15-yard line across the 25 and getting met at the 26-yard line is the return man for Blue Valley North. And here come the Mustangs off of a touchdown drive where Graham Mertz got him out of a hole. They went 95 yards. Remember, he had that big pass play from off his own goal line.
Indeed. And don't forget, though, on that flip side, that Derby was given just outstanding field position because of the bad kickoff, 2 bad kickoffs. On the flip side, you see Derby, they kick the ball a little more conventionally, even to the explosive Blue Valley North returners. Great coverage gives Blue Valley North a longer field to go.
They mark it at the 27-yard line. This is where Graham Mertz and company will start their first drive of this second quarter. 9:38 to go before halftime in a 7-7 game. They're going to give to Pesic Hickson, running left side, picks up a solid block. He's across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Good kick-out block, gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen a little bit more of Pesic Hickson. The times he has touched the ball here today, he's had some successful runs. But it can't just be the Graham Mertz show, just like we talked about in pregame. They have to find other weapons for him to be able to utilize, and running the football is probably weapon number 1.
That was the 5th carry of the game for Pesic Hickson. Mertz checks the far sideline. 10 on the play clock out here in Emporia. 7-7 game. We're in quarter number 2. Mertz claps his hands, looking left. He's going to fire an out route that's tipped up but incomplete. 3rd and 5.
Nice job again. Isaac Keener, we talked about him a little bit earlier in the first quarter. Second quarter, making a big play. He is the quarterback of this defense. Gets his big paws up and bats down the pass that was intended for Cameron Burt. And it would have been interesting to see because they had double coverage on Cameron Burt there, but Mertz decided to throw it anyways. And very fortunate that one didn't get batted up and get intercepted.
Keener's got good size at that DN spot, 6'1", 225. That's the strength of this Derby defense. 3rd down, Mertz, shotgun snap, pressure right up the middle. Steps away from it, throws back over the middle to Amari Pesic Hickson, who fights forward to the first down marker for a gain of 5.
What a play. Mertz finding a way to step away to avoid the pressure. But how about that catch by Pesic Hickson? Because it was not thrown very well. It was thrown behind him. Somehow manages to catch it on his hip. But then most importantly, fight forward to get the first down. What a conversion by the Mustangs. Great job.
Yeah, because he caught that 2 yards behind the marker, and he fought those extra 2 to pick up the first down, move the chains to the 43 of Blue Valley North. 2 right, 1 left. They're going to give to Pesic Hickson. Picks up a block on the edge and gets out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Only a gain of 2 on the ground for Pesic Hickson.
Better run support there by this Derby defense. That second level, Jacob Orensby, the middle linebacker, out there making a tackle in space.
2nd and 8. 8:19 to go till halftime. 7-7. In your 6A state championship game, Blue Valley North back with the football, trying to get their offense in motion here as we approach halftime. 2 right, 3 right, 1 left. Burt is the lone receiver on the backside of the formation here off the left hash. Pesic Hickson to the left of Mertz in the shotgun. 3-step drop. All day to throw. Loading up. Firing a deep ball. First thought Mossy. It's incomplete. And now a flag flies.
It's the right call. Right call. Terry Ginyard, the cornerback, was locked up one-on-one with Mossy. And that's right there where Graham Mertz distrusts his receivers. Either going to come up with the big reception or going to get a pass interference. And right there got the PI because Mossy almost still managed to come up with the reception, but that's the right call. You know, Ginyard was right all over the Mossy there. Had him hugged almost in a bear hug right there at the end. And again, that's just trusting your receivers when you have a big-time quarterback that he can make that throw and force the PI.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you mentioned that. He knows that his receiver's going to get it or there's going to be a pass interference call. That's next-level football IQ.
Oh, yeah, no question. No question. And Brandon Clark's down there arguing, but there's no arguing that one. That one was about as easy as a pass interference call as you're going to get from the back judge.
They move to the 45 of Derby. 1st and 10 after the pass interference call. Mossy goes in motion across the formation to the left side. Mertz looking right. Mertz again with all day. He's going to fire a deep corner route for Burt, and he sailed it too far, and it hits the track on the far sideline. 2nd and 10.
Well, at least he threw it where only Burt would be the only one that could go up and get that. Burt has had double coverage almost every single play, and right there he had Dax Benway in his hip pocket, and then Mick Einor, the safety, also rolling over to cover him. They're doing everything that they can to try to keep their eyes, 2 guys almost every single play, on Cameron Burt.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion, still off the left hash. That was a far throw. He threw the corner out to the far side of the field. That's maybe 50 yards in the air on the incompletion. Mertz looking right on the snap. Pressure in his face. Sidesteps one. Spins away from another. And he's going to run the ball across the 42 near the 41-yard line. Got at a danger. Picked up 3 yards on the scramble.
Yeah, nice job there. We're continuing to see some different looks from this Derby defense. They brought pressure that time. And Mertz, just the big body that he is, able to get something out of nothing, setting up this 3rd and 7. And this is the type of situation where in pass, Derby likes to bring pressure against quarterbacks. Will they do that on this 3rd down against a very good 3rd down offense in Blue Valley North?
7.5 to go, second quarter, in a tie game from Emporia. 3 to the right side. Pesa kicks into the left of Mertz. Hard count. Sitting back in the pocket with time. Deep ball over the middle. It is incomplete. Nobody was in the neighborhood, and that was confusion on the part of the 2 receivers out there, Cameron Burt and Eric Roberts. And I think somebody was supposed to be down the seam there, and no one was.
Yeah, and I think if Mertz watches this again on tape, he's going to be very disappointed because he had Cameron Burt open on the post route, and if he hits him, that's a 6-point touchdown pass.
And so 4th and 7 offense stays out there, but we saw this earlier. We're probably going to see Mertz sit back and boot this ball over the heads of the Derby Panthers. It's an empty formation. Let's see if they run a play here.
It's kind of in that weird spot where you could get away with it either way, but I'd punt it and not give this Derby offense too much room to work with.
And now whistles before the snap and a timeout for Andy Sims. Wants to talk about it. Maybe he was considering the option of putting it in the air on a 4th and 7 play, and they'll have that conversation. But I'm with you. You've given Derby great starting field position on all but one of their drives today.
Yeah, make them go a little bit further. Make them go further. Even if it goes out the back of the end zone, start them at the 20 instead of at the 50-yard line where they were at that last drive here. Still monitoring the scoreboard from 5A and 4A Kansas State Championships. Class 4A Bishop Miege is up 28-7 over Goddard. In Class 5A down in Pittsburgh, it's 21-0 St. Thomas Aquinas over Wichita Northwest, and Aquinas did throw an interception in the end zone that while they were trying to go up 28-0 here. So very good job so far by the Aquinas offense, but even better job somehow shutting down this Wichita Northwest offense that's been putting up 70 and 60 points here in this in this playoff run.
Scored 84 in the quarterfinal rounds. These Derby Panthers, they're no stranger to the state title game either. They've been in the last 4 state championships in 6A. They won it 2015, 2016, and lost to this Blue Valley North team last year. And again this afternoon, the grudge match. Out of the timeout, empty formation again. Mertz checks the far sideline, 3 right, 1 left, and a tight end Hendershot to the left side. Mertz shouting out instructions, claps his hands. He is going to boot it away. This one sits up into the air, hits inside the 15, takes a better hop, and they're going to be able to down this one near the 5-yard line. That was a better punt that time by Mertz, and now Derby's going to have to go 95 yards.
That one set much better up in there, like you talked about. Kind of sailed and hit up there and got a hold of the wind, and it deadened right at the 5-yard line. Nice coverage, and you just can't give a team like Derby or Blue Valley North too much extra incentive, extra free yards, and you got to punt the ball when you got to punt the ball.
So Derby will start from their own 5-yard line in the 7-7 game, 7:03 to go in this first half. And you look at some of the numbers here for Derby, and it has been all on the ground. 122 yards on the ground. Hunter Igo, 1 for 4 throwing the ball, 19 yards. But again, this is an offense predicated on their running game. They've done it well in this first half. Igo is going to fake it on the read option. He is going to get met 2 yards deep in the backfield, slung down at the 3-yard line. A loss of 2 on the first down play.
Nice job by Nick Hafford, the middle linebacker, making the great read, coming up in the middle and making the big stop.
2nd and 12. And again, this is danger zone.
Yeah, you got to
for Derby.
Protect. And they've only given up they've only fumbled the ball 5 or 6 times this season on the offensive side of the ball. But still, ball protection's paramount right here.
Out of the shotgun, they're going to give to Washington running right side. He is tripped up by the shoelace at the 5-yard line and gets those 2 yards back, but it's going to be 3rd and 10.
How about that? Nick Hafford, I mean, for those watching the stream, you see that the kid has a club on his hand and somehow was able to make it the big tackle. But for those listening on the radio, it's hard to see because he's playing with a club on his hand and somehow, some way, was able to come up with a stop there.
This is a giant 3rd and 10 for Derby. Because if they've got a punt, it should give Blue Valley North their best field position of the afternoon. 5:50 to go in the second quarter in a 7-7 game. Hunter Igo has got 3 receivers to the left side. Shotgun snap, gives to Washington straight up the middle. He is going to be stuffed at the 8-yard line. That's going to be 4th down for Derby. And we should see the punt unit for the Panthers for the first time today.
And only the 19th time of the entire season.
Boy, Brandon Clark is hot. He came all the way out on the field, yelled at his right guard, Ronnie Washington. He was out of the numbers on this near sideline. He is still in the ear of Ronnie Washington, not happy with his right guard. Punt unit out there. And the punter, Jackson Syring, is near the back of the end zone here in Emporia. Low snap, picks it up, gets rid of a solid boot. It is going to be picked up at the 41. Far sideline, 30. And getting tripped up right there was Kendall Hargens. Maybe just shy of the 30-yard line. Derby fans, they wanted to block at the back. They didn't get it. And here come the Mustangs.
Yeah, there might have been one. But that being said, they didn't get called. And we saw what happened when, well, now there is a flag late on the field.
But it's nowhere near.
No, it's
at
right.
The 17-yard line. And that ball was fielded near the 40. So it's not in the area of a block at the back. 4:56 to go second quarter, and this is a considerable moment here.
Because, we saw what happens when Derby gets great field position. They were able to get their 1 touchdown drive. And you don't have to give Blue Valley North great field position to score, but if you give them great field position, that certainly helps.
But this is an odd area of the field to throw a flag. Near the 17. And they're pointing to the Blue Valley North sideline. The Derby players were clapping, which would indicate that it was against Blue Valley North, but now they're going over to Andy Sims as if to ask him if he wants to accept or decline a penalty. And it is going to be against Derby. A personal foul at the end of that play against the Derby Panthers. Brandon Clark is beside himself.
I didn't see it. It must have been way, way, way far away from the play, and Clark is summoning the white hat.
Look at him. He's motioning.
Summoning is probably the best way to describe it.
He wants to have a word with those officials, and I feel for the side judge that's going to be on this Derby sideline here, because they are going to start Blue Valley North at the Derby 15-yard line. Wow.
And how important is this drive right here? Hunter Igo, the starting quarterback, is going out there to play safety for Derby. So this is a key moment in this game. Clark senses that an opportunity for Blue Valley North to get 6 points on the board and take control of the game here right before half.
Brandon Clark not satisfied with the explanation he's been given. But either way, Mustangs have great starting field position at the Derby Panther 15-yard line. Less than 5 to play till halftime. They motion Thutmasi into the backfield. 2 tailbacks in the backfield now. Thutmasi and Pesek Hickson. Mertz looking over the middle. He is going to fire one for the back pylon. Dangerous throw is incomplete. The closest man was Dax Benway, the corner for Derby.
And that's just a miscommunication that you just do not normally see between Bert and Mertz. And Bert was tapping his chest like, I ran the wrong route because that was thrown, like you said, over to that pylon. And the only Clyde close was Benway. And Bert was open, but he did not run the same route that Mertz anticipated him to be running.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs, who start this drive in the red zone after the punt return and the personal foul tacked on. Empty formation for Mertz. In a 7-7 game, claps his hands. They only rush 3 at him. He's got time. He's going to zip it for the pylon. It's incomplete. Too high for Burt. 3rd down and 10.
Great coverage from all of the Derby defensive backs. Did not give Mertz a real window here. Now this sets up a 3rd and 10, and this is a huge play right here, Tim. If you can somehow, if you're Derby, only give up a field goal attempt, you'd have to feel great and like you dodged a bullet in some fashion.
You're not kidding. Again, starting at the 15-yard line to get a stop would be huge for momentum in this game. This Derby side coming to their feet. The entire town of Derby made the drive out here to Emporia. Empty backfield again. 3 left, 2 right. Mertz with time. Zips an out route. Completes inside the 5 and stepping out of bounds. First and goal. That time, Eric Roberts on the reception.
And that's that third option that we've been talking about that has developed in the playoffs for Blue Valley North. Yes, we know that Cameron Burt's going to get the ball. We've seen Pesek Hickson become a go-to guy in this offense during the regular season. But Eric Roberts, last week, 11 receptions, 192 yards. Not a bigger catch than that one right there in the state championship game. What a throw, but what a route, and an even better catch by Eric Roberts.
First and goal to the 3-yard line. March the Mustangs. Empty formation. 2 receivers split all the way to the sideline on the right side. Mertz looking left. Stepping up. Rolling in the pocket. He's almost sacked. Steps past 1. Stays on his feet. And now he's going to get dropped near the 8-yard line. I don't know what was going on that one. It was an odd formation, and that one never set up for Mertz, and he was in trouble from the snap.
And we've seen him line up in that formation before in these goal line situations and run quarterback draw. And I thought that's exactly what they were setting up, and it just did not work from the beginning no matter what they did. They tried to get some quick hitches, but well covered by the Derby defense, and now suddenly, Blue Valley North's behind the chains here on this second down and goal.
Yeah, now back to the 9-yard line. They lose 6 yards on that sack. And again, there are about 3 Panthers hauling Mertz down. 3 left, 2 right, bunch to either side. Mertz looking left, firing left. Pig, nearly intercepted by Benway. Had a shot, went right through his hands.
I think he was baiting Mertz into throwing the football. He was underneath the coverage on Tomasi, and he was waiting. He made a great break. And we're going to get a Blue Valley North timeout here, sensing how critical this third down play is there. But that was almost an interception, and great job by Benway baiting Mertz into throwing it over there into the flat.
I mean, right through his hands. And if he's able to secure that, he may go 100 yards the other way.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, this is the battle we talked about. We talked about coming into the game, who was going to win the battle between this explosive offense and this great defense. And we've seen them take turns beating each other. We've seen Mertz make great plays. We've seen this defense step up and make great plays. And this is where the get your popcorn type moment here, because this is a critical juncture in this game, especially with just 3:48 going into halftime.
Plays like this are what win you a state championship. Situations like this are what win you a state championship. 3rd and goal. For Derby, they gave Blue Valley North the football at the 15-yard line. Mustangs converted a 3rd and 10 moments ago, but now they've pushed them back to the 9.
It's not been easy. I mean, this, as you can see, we're so used to Blue Valley North moving up and down the field against some of the best defenses in the entire state. This shows you how good this Derby defense, especially this back end, is, because they're sticking with these receivers.
Let's see what they draw up out of the timeout. 2 right, 1 left. Mertz sends the Mossy in the formation across to the left side. Mertz on the snap, looking left, stepping up in the pocket. He is going to hold on to this one, tuck it, and get hammered out of bounds near the 7-yard line. That was not a designed run. No. There was just nothing open.
No, they wanted to try to get Cameron Burt again. And just outstanding coverage, rolling 2-3 guys his way. I'm surprised they didn't go back to the far side with Eric Roberts, who had one-on-one coverage against Terry Ginyard. But right there, nice job by this Derby defense forcing the field goal attempt. That's a huge win if you're a Panther fan.
It'll be off the left hash for Spencer Spranger. It'd be a 24-yarder hold down kick on the way, and it splits the uprights. And Blue Valley North, they lead 10-7 after the 24-yard Spencer Spranger field goal. But maybe a bad taste in the mouth for Andy Sims. He was down to the 3-yard line. They settle for 3. Stay with us. You're listening to the 6A state title game on ESPN Kansas City and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
10-7 ball game as we welcome you back to Emporia. That was a 7-play, 8-yard drive for the Mustangs that ends in a 24-yard field goal for Spencer Spranger, who's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, ready to give it back to Derby. 3:06 to play before halftime. Spranger is going to rocket this one high. End-over-end kick is going to send Washington back to the 5-yard line. Off the near hash, he is going to get past one wave and then get drilled at the 23-yard line. And here comes Derby. Now 3 minutes to go, but they, again, have been really good in the short field situations, but anytime they're starting here in a long field situation, they haven't moved the ball well.
And it just befuddles me why we continue to see short kickoffs by this Blue Valley North special teams.
Right.
Because right now you get great coverage, and you had Washington down, no problem at all. And they did that last week, and they gave up just huge field positions and gave scoring drives because of it. And now you're going to force Hunter Igoe and this Trey Washington to go 80 yards in 3 minutes, and they're not a passing offense.
And 2 timeouts for Derby to use. They're going to give to Washington on a counter, trying to get to the edge near side. Picks up a block from his quarterback. He gets hammered at the 35 and out of bounds. Brandon Clark wanted a late hit. He's not going to get it. But that's 12 yards and a first down. And how about Hunter Igoe getting downfield?
Just an outstanding open field block when Washington made the cut backfield. And that's the type of player that Hunter Igoe is. He is all about team.
They go quickly back to the line. It's going to be Washington. Behind left guard, pushes the pile to the 40-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. And that clock will continue to run, peeling bodies off the pile slowly. And Blue Valley North is okay with that. Try to kill a little bit of this clock and take it away from the Panthers.
I think they thought the ball might have come loose there for just a fraction of a second, but the right hat said the ball, Washington was down on the ground.
Inside 2.5 to go in this first half. 2nd and 6 play, high snap. Igoe is going to keep it on the read pass option. He is going to break one tackle out to the 45-yard line, a half-yard shy of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd down. Well, they signal first down, and that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Boy, better than I thought. So they're going to pick up right at 6 yards and move the chains. Stop the clock at 2:14. 3 left, 1 right. Igoe, another high snap. Another option play. Igoe is going to keep it and get hammered a yard across the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 9.
But if you're Blue Valley North, you know that the running attacks can come and they're going to try to play action at you eventually. It's just all about keeping the ball in front of you and making fundamental tackles right now. Do not try to go for the home run tackle. Make the fundamental tackle. Let your teammates rally to the football.
They've loved that read option. They're going to run it again. This time Igoe wants to throw. He's going to fire it backside with a flag on the field. It's incomplete, but the receiver may have been held up on the route.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Ken, you know the play action's going to come eventually. You just got to be smart. Keep it in front of you. That came against Marco Collins, who is, as we've seen all season long, he's one of the best defensive backs in the entire state of Kansas, and he just got bit on the play fake from Igoe, and Davin Sims just ran right by him, and he had to kind of hold him just to keep it. I guess the penalty's a lot better than what could have been a touchdown.
Again, the second receiver in this unit, Jacob Karsak, got injured on the opening kickoff. They're going to run that option play again. Igoe cuts it up. He's across the 40 to the 37-yard line, gets driven back, gain of 6 yards on first down. So they are down a receiver, are the Derby Panthers. 1:20 to go and rolling in this second quarter as we approach halftime. 10-7 Blue Valley North. Derby trying to answer the bell before half. Igoe drops the snap. He picks it up, and he's going to get dropped behind the 40-yard line near the 43-yard line.
That was going to be one of those play-action passes. He just tried to do something with it before he caught the ball from the center. That's you hear that over and over. It's a cliche to say he tried to run with the football or he tried to move with the football before he caught it. Well, it's the truth, and that's exactly what happened with Hunter Igoe on that play. He tried to do something before he received the snap from Kevin Washington.
Nick Hafford will get credited with the sack for Blue Valley North, and they spot it forward progress at the 41. And that's going to make this 3rd and 8. Derby takes a timeout, their second timeout of this first half.
And this is a situation where you know you have to keep an eye on Trey Washington coming out of the backfield as a receiving threat. We saw him with the big catch earlier on their touchdown drive. Got to keep an eye on him. Maybe it's just an opportunity to run a screen with the way that Blue Valley North likes to bring some pressure sometimes on third downs. Interesting play call here from Brandon Clark's offensive staff.
Yeah, this is a big play, and I don't know if you go for it in a situation like this if you don't pick it up here. Because, again, do you want to give Blue Valley North another shot if you don't convert on this third down?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just take the field position and try to pin them deep?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another run or something very conservative and try to eat into this third and long situation.
Here we go out of the timeout. 2 left, 2 right. Washington to the right of Igo. Blue Valley North has creeped up 3 linebackers near the line of scrimmage. They're going to bring heat on Igo. Igo looking over the middle. He's going to fire a rocket. It is incomplete. Batted away. Kavion Walker had a shot at it.
I think Walker needs to catch that ball. Danny Nam was right in his hip pocket, but it hit Walker right in between the 1 and the 1 on his jersey. That was a nice throw by Hunter Igo. Had pressure, but he was still able to step and throw into it, and now we have decision time from Brandon Clark. Like you said, Tim, do you punt the ball here?
Yeah, we just hit on this, and this is where
I punt the ball.
I do too.
There's no doubt, in my opinion, you punt the ball because you do not want to give Graham Mertz just short field. But we'll see what the play call is now. 4th and 8.
An incompletion. Give the Mustangs the ball at the 41-yard line with a timeout to go. 1:03 till halftime. So still a lot of time for this Blue Valley North offense the way they play. And a timeout for Brandon Clark is his final timeout of the half. And they're going to talk about it, but I don't. Well, this is a giant risk, I think, at this time in the game.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see the pooch punt like with what we saw from Blue Valley North time after time with Graham Mertz. But we've seen Graham Mertz enough over this last couple of years to know that it does not. If there's a second left on the clock, there's a threat.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have been very impressed with the defense for Blue Valley North because this is a similar look to what Olathe North does.
Yeah.
They run a lot of the option game, trying to get to the edge, a lot on the ground. This is what Derby's doing, and Blue Valley North, it is night and day, the defensive performance from last week in the semifinals.
And I talked to Brandon Clark. I know you did too. They thought that they might have some opportunities for success because they do very similar things to what Olathe North does. Now, granted, Hunter Igo's a good player, but he's not Arlen Bruce, the fourth back there. And Trey Washington's a good running back, but I don't know if he's the same type of running back attack that we've seen in Olathe North. That being said, it just takes a fraction of a second for Derby to get going. But you're right, this Blue Valley North defense has played outstanding here in this first half.
This first half's been drastically different than last year's first half. 4th and 8 out of the timeout. Offense still out there. 2 left, 2 right. Washington to the left of Igo. Still getting that play call in. Igo walks up to the line, changes the play. Now backpedals back into the shotgun. Washington now to his right. Blue Valley North. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to option to the right. Igo cuts it up. He's got the first down, breaking a tackle and dragging a man to the 25 of Blue Valley North. They convert on the 4th and 8.
What a gutsy call, but what an even better run by Hunter Igo, making the great read to cut it back up on the speed option.
55 seconds to go till halftime. Igo quickly to the line, play fake, zips out and out route to the near side, complete inside the 15, dancing around a man to the 10, breaking another, inside stepping out of bounds is Kavion Walker, 1st and goal.
There you go. He makes up for the big miss with a nice catch right there and gets, most importantly, out of bounds.
44 seconds. No timeouts for Derby.
What a run by Hunter Igo to cut that back up on that speed option because Blue Valley North had it defended well. Cut back up and got the first down.
1st and goal. 3 left, 1 right. They get the play call in. Igo, shotgun snap. Looking left. Now back to the right. Now stepping up in the pocket. He's going to throw a low pass. Incomplete in the dirt. He was looking for Walker. And it's 2nd and goal with 38 to play.
Yeah, if he turns his head to the left early on in that series, he's going to see Walker standing wide open without a blue jersey near him. He was so wide open there as the tight end. And somehow Walker was able to come back toward Igo, but Igo was not able to put enough on the arm strength underneath the throw, and now it's 2nd and 8.
Derby's defense was backed up moments ago and was able to force a field goal from the Mustangs. Can Blue Valley North return the favor here as we close in on halftime? 2nd and goal off the 8-yard line. Igo Play fakes to Washington. Looking left. He's going to fire a corner route. The receiver wasn't ready for it. It's incomplete. Ran the wrong route. He cut in. And again, I go through it for the back pylon. It's 3rd and goal.
That's Dax Benway, who was their leading receiver. This two-way player plays corner. He ran the wrong route, or he and Igo weren't on the same page at all. And now here we are, 3rd and 8 with no timeouts left.
Benway caught a touchdown in that semifinal game last Friday. Here comes that 3rd and goal. Monster play in this first half. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 receiver to the right. They're going to motion Larson to the left side. Igo looking left. Now back to the right, sets up the tunnel screen. Sims making one-man miss. Inside the 5, he gets sandwiched at the 3-yard line. It's going to be 4th and goal. 25 seconds, Derby can't stop the clock.
Looks like they're running the field goal unit out onto the field. 20 seconds left, 19.
They are. They're still getting players off. They're going to be able to get this off. We're inside 15 seconds. It'll be siring off the right hash from 20 yards away. This is a chip shot. 6 seconds, snap, hold, Siring's kick is up, and it is good. And we're knotted at 10 with 2 seconds to go in this first half. So Blue Valley North, they make a defensive stand now on a goal-to-go situation.
Who would have thought we would have a defensive struggle coming into this? You know, this is hats off to both defensive staffs. They've dialed.
Again, state championship Saturday throughout Kansas. We'll get you those scores at halftime, I'm sure, from all the games in Kansas, including the big one down in Pittsburgh between St. Thomas Aquinas and Wichita Northwest. And again, Aquinas, at least after that first quarter, they were dominating in that game. Ball teed up off the right hash. Siring is just going to squib this kick. He's going to take a high hop, field it at the 30-yard line. And it's Camp stiff-arming one man, reversing field, getting to the far side, just trying to make men miss, and he's going to get finally run out of bounds near the 38-yard line. We're at halftime in Emporia, 10-10. The defense is doing work in the first 24 minutes. We've got ourselves a dogfight, but what else would you expect between Derby and Blue Valley North in the grudge match? You're listening to the 6A title game on ESPN Kansas City and 810varsity.com. We're at halftime, and we step aside in a 10-10 game.
What's up, Kansas City? Jake Gutierrez here to tell you about Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy, sell.
All right, we're looking at 5 minutes here, guys.
All right, you're going to come back to us?
Yeah, Brad and them aren't doing halftime or postgame, so it'll just be you.
Go beyond the lecture. Get into the lab. Or command the boardroom. No matter your major, whatever you're into, find the experiences and opportunities you want at Avila University. At Avila, research or internship opportunities are guaranteed. Avila University. Find what you're looking for at avila.edu.
The oasis on the plains, Colby, Kansas, is the oasis on the plains. A friendly smile, Colby has it. If you leave, you're sure to miss it. Work, shop, play, or visit. Share our past, we'll show you our dreams. The oasis on the plains, Colby, Kansas.
Jumpstart your education today with Colby Connect. With Colby Community College online classes, you set the schedule, you set the place, with credits that transfer to local colleges and universities at a fraction of the cost. College couldn't be any easier to fit into your life. We even have 24/7 tutoring available. Take affordable and transferable courses from an accredited nonprofit community college with one of the highest graduation rates in the nation. Connect here, go anywhere. Register for online classes today.
America never stops. Thanks to the financial support of Farm Credit, neither do the farmers and ranchers who call her home. Since the beginning, we've been helping rural America show the world what hard work can achieve. But the job is far from over. And as rural America grows further, we'll be there, just as we have for 100 years.
Sharp Brothers Seed Company. Family owned in the Heartland, Sharp Brothers has been personalizing its customers' seed buying experience for nearly 70 years. Serving landowners, ranchers, homeowners, and businesses across the region with years of experience with individual species and creating custom seed blends.
A trusted source for quality seed from quality people. Sharp Brothers Seed Company.
Welcome to Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in Oakley, Kansas on I-70 at exit 76. I-70, after all, is America's Main Street, and we're right here on Main Street for you. Now that I'm an Oakley resident, I still come in almost every day, and I sit and listen to the conversations of the people around me. You know, the guys who are talking about the big elk they just bagged, or the folks who are taking their kid to college for the first time. People just traveling up and down the highway. Real people, just like you and me. And they find just what I find here, real people to serve them. There's history, there's scenery. We hope you'll stop and see us soon. Welcome to Oakley.
Yost Farm Supply, with locations in St. Francis, Goodland, and Imperial, Nebraska, has a wide variety of New Holland farm machinery to accommodate your farming needs. From their state-of-the-art combines, tractors, sprayers, hay tools, and balers, all to go along with their professional and friendly parts and service departments. You can rest assured that with New Holland and Yost Farm Supply, you'll be farming smarter and not harder. Find them online at yostfarmsupply.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Have plumbing needs, whether a residential or commercial customer? Kansas City has turned to Gray Bill Plumbing since 1986. Gray Bill Plumbing strives to be the premier plumbing and mechanical contractor in the Kansas City area while offering unique solutions to general contractors, architects, designers, and homeowners. Call Gray Bill Plumbing at 913-432-9660. That's 913-432-9660. Or visit online at graybillpipeworks.com. Gray Bill Plumbing, a proud supporter of St. Thomas Aquinas Athletics. Go Saints!
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Go beyond the lecture. Get into the lab. Or command the boardroom. No matter your major, whatever you're into, find the experiences and opportunities you want at Avila University. At Avila, research or internship opportunities are guaranteed. Avila University. Find what you're looking for at avila.edu.
The oasis on the plains, Colby, Kansas, is the oasis on the plains. A friendly smile, Colby has it. If you leave, you're sure to miss it. Work, shop, play or visit, share our past, we'll show you our dreams. The oasis on the plains, Colby, Kansas.
Jumpstart your education today with Colby Connect. With Colby Community College online classes, you set the schedule, you set the place, with credits that transfer to local colleges and universities at a fraction of the cost. College couldn't be any easier to fit into your life. We even have 24/7 tutoring available. Take affordable and transferable courses from an accredited nonprofit community college with one of the highest graduation rates in the nation. Connect here, go anywhere. Register for online classes today.
America never stops. Thanks to the financial support of Farm Credit, neither do the farmers and ranchers who call her home. Since the beginning, we've been helping rural America show the world what hard work can achieve. But the job is far from over. And as rural America grows further, we'll be there, just as we have for 100 years.
Sharp Brothers Seed Company. Family owned in the Heartland, Sharp Brothers has been personalizing its customer seed buying experience for nearly 70 years. Serving landowners, ranchers, homeowners, and businesses across the region with years of experience with individual species and creating custom seed blends.
A trusted source for quality seed from quality people. Sharp Brothers Seed Company.
Welcome to Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in Oakley, Kansas on I-70 at exit 76. I-70, after all, is America's Main Street, and we're right here on Main Street for you. Now that I'm an Oakley resident, I still come in almost every day, and I sit and listen to the conversations of the people around me. You know, the guys who are talking about the big elk they just bagged, or the folks who are taking their kid to college for the first time. People just traveling up and down the highway. Real people, just like you and me. And they find just what I find here, real people to serve them. There's history, there's scenery. We hope you'll stop and see us soon. Welcome to Oakley.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Briar Payne Mead Insurance in Kansas City today at bpminsurance.com or call 913-402-9576. That's 913-402-9576 and ask about Auto Owners Insurance today.
Go beyond the lecture. Get into the lab. Or command the boardroom. No matter your major, whatever you're into, Find the experiences and opportunities you want at Avila University. At Avila, research or internship opportunities are guaranteed. Avila University. Find what you're looking for at avila.edu.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com. High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Ready for half number 2 out here in Emporia real quickly. Another score update for you. Again, it was a blowout earlier, but now Wichita Northwest has scored another touchdown to creep a little bit closer to St. Thomas Aquinas. 35-14 now. 14 points real quickly for Northwest, and they're trying to eke back into that game. 10-10 in our game. Derby will start with the football here in this second half. Blue Valley North, they started on offense in that first quarter, and what do we look for a change, if any, from this Derby offense coming out of halftime?
Well, I think they need to get the ball more in Trey Washington's hands. Every time he touched it, good things happened. And a lot of it was predicated by what Hunter Igo was seeing on those reads, on those zone reads. The defense from Blue Valley North was forcing him to pull the ball and take it. But I almost wonder if you got to force feed Trey Washington some here early on in this drive to kind of get him back involved in this game, because he's been very effective running the football.
14 carries, 95 yards, like you mentioned, and the touchdown for Trey Washington in that first half. But Hunter Igo called his own number just as many times, 15 times to be exact, in that first half for 75 yards. So Washington a little bit more effective, but Igo also has stepped into some sacks as he did in that first half.
And let's see if Blue Valley North kicks the ball long on this kickoff here.
And because, again, field position was a major factor in that first half. And, yeah, that was one of our talking points there in that first half. And Spranger's got teed up on the near hash. Trey Washington back deep. Well, let's see if he gets a chance to put his hands on this one. Spranger, the run-up, we're underway in the second half, and he buries this kick deep into the end zone. I mean, we told you the kid has a leg, and he crushes that one a touchback.
Why have we seen him not do that the last couple of weeks? And it's not on him. It's obviously a coaching technique, a coaching move for them to decide to do that, to try to keep it out of the returner's hands. But I'd much rather make this Derby offense go 80 yards versus 50 yards.
10-10, Derby, they got down inside the 10-yard line at the end of that second quarter. Again, they had it first and goal from the 8-yard line, but ultimately had to settle for a field goal. And they start with the football here in quarter number 3 in a tie ball game of your 6A title game. Igo out of the shotgun is going to run that read option. He's going to keep it. He's got a lot of room across the 30 to the 35. He lowers the shoulder, and he's dropped near the 37-yard line.
Outstanding job by this offensive line. Ronnie Washington, the right guard, just opening up a huge hole there. And again, they try to crash on Trey Washington on his own read, and Hunter Igo does a nice job of just pulling it and taking what this defense has given him.
17 yards on the first down carry. They give to Trey Washington, right side, busted through across midfield, cut back at the 40. Trey Washington in a foot race, roped down from behind, lost the football inside the 20. North says they have it. This will be a monster turnover if they do, and the Mustangs get it back. Oh, how about a momentum killer right there from Blue Valley North.
Kendall Hargens makes the fumble recovery, but how about the effort by Danny Nam, who comes up from the backside, and Kendall Hargens, two of them together, strips the ball and comes up with a fumble recovery because that one was all Derby. Just great effort. Those are the types of just extra efforts that win you state championships.
Trey Washington getting an earful coming off the sideline. He is dejected. He had his helmet off coming off the field, and he is still getting ripped into on the near side by Brandon Clark. A giant turnover to start the third quarter as Washington goes and punches the bench on the near side. He's disgusted. Clark still screaming at him, and the Mustangs back on offense. From their own 19-yard line, they give to Pesic Hickson, trying to get to the edge right side. He is going to get run down from behind and thrown back at the 15. Loss of 4 on first down.
Jay Fisher, the weak side linebacker, coming and filling the hole. Great job on run support. Blue Light North doing what we thought they would try to do. Same thing like Derby thought they would try to do. Get their running backs actively engaged early on.
So 2nd and 14 following the turnover and the 4-yard loss. Empty formation for Blue Valley North. And what differences are we going to see from this offense here coming out of the locker room? Mertz, they only sent 3 at him, is going to fire a hitch route right side, complete it to the 20-yard line, and no further goes Sean Endershot. And here comes 3rd and 9.
Already seeing some of the cat and mouse game being played on the defensive side of the ball. Cameron Bird has had double teams most of the night, but he's not had double teams where there are guys right in his face. Cade Lindsey, the outside linebacker, is right in Bird's face, not letting him get off the line of scrimmage. And that's Mertz's go-to guy. Again, there's the matchup right there again, in his face, keeping him getting off that line of scrimmage. So
3 left and 2 right. And now they back off of Burt in the slot. Mertz looking right, throwing right. A comeback is too high and incomplete for Endershot, and it's 4th down.
Nice job by this Derby defense to go 3 and out after the sudden change of possession. Great job by Derby to get this going.
And so we're going to have a punt for Blue Valley North, and Trey Washington that entire time was just sitting by himself on the bench. And now he hops off of it. And all of a sudden, he's got a little bit more pep in his step after the fumble, and the defense forces a punt.
That's a great job by this Derby defense, just stuffing Blue Valley North right out of the gate.
Burt, they're not going to come after him as he sends a rocket into the sky here in Emporia. It's going to be fielded near the 40-yard line. And getting across midfield, picking up a downfield block, and a lot of room near side 30, 25, 20, and getting run out of bounds near the 15-yard line goes Hunter Igo.
Do it all, young man, for your team. Safety, quarterback, punt returner. And what a great read. He lets the ball come to him, and then he just settles and lets the blocking break through to the right side, and he just scoots down the right sideline. First and what's a ball? It's but the 13-yard line, 14-yard line. That's just a tremendous job by Hunter Igo. Just great individual effort.
So Trey Washington, after getting chewed out moments ago, is back out there at tailback.
Bet he gets the ball again.
And I'll bet he runs with a little conviction here on this drive as well after fumbling last time he touched it. They're going to give it to him. He breaks one tackle near sideline inside the 10. Picks up a block. He's going to walk into the end zone, but there's a flag down near the line of scrimmage.
Let's see what the call is.
They mob him out of the back of the end zone, but I think this one's coming back.
It was right where he broke free.
Yeah, now everyone starts walking backwards. This one should go against Derby. Igo pointing as if it's against the Mustangs, but he's the only one saying it's against the Mustangs. It's going to be a hold.
And there were 2 Blue Valley North defensive linemen that did get through and kind of messed the play up, that messed the mesh up between Hunter Igo and Trey Washington. And it was great individual effort by Washington to break free and get into the end zone. But somebody held there on that interior of the offensive lineman. It was either Kevin Washington or Ronnie Washington, the 2 center and right guard.
And that's where it was in that mesh, because it's a spot foul, and they move it all the way back
they were
to the 27.
Both those guys were beat on the play.
It's going to make this a 1st and 23. So, yeah, that hold occurred 3 yards deep in the backfield, right where that mesh was that you were talking about. 3 left, 1 right on the 1st and real long. They're going to fake to Washington. Igo is going to step up in the pocket, and he is going to get dropped into the line of scrimmage. He was trying to run that quarterback draw, but he got hawked from behind, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job again by this defensive line.
Nick Detmer.
Yeah, Nick Detmer coming up and making a nice play, kind of reading Hunter Igo. That's another little wrinkled change we're seeing from Blue Valley North. They're starting to send some of their outside linebackers to slow Hunter Igo down.
And Nick Detmer has been outstanding in these playoffs. Second and long, play fake. Igo is going to zip one right side, tipped up into the air and caught. Coming back to the football. Davin Sims reeled it in at the 19-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 15 now.
But still,
good play.
It was a great play, but very lucky that did not get got intercepted or something, because they're continuing to get their hands up at that line of scrimmage and almost got that one batted away.
3rd and 15. Mustangs show pressure. Now they back out it. They only send 4. Igo's going to keep it right side. Huge hole inside the 10. Igo tripped up inside the 5. They're going to move the chains. 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Boy, that just opened up like the Red Sea there, and it was a run play. And Blue Valley North assumed it was going to be a pass play on 3rd and long. Instead, Hunter Igo goes up the middle for a huge first down conversion.
Quickly to the line. Option play right side. Igo, the keeper, is going to get slammed down near the 4-yard line. Blue Valley North, they sniff that one out, and it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Tim Foster was being held on the play and still somehow managed to tackle Hunter Igo. He was being bear hugged by Kavion Walker, the tight end there, but still managed to come up with a big tackle. 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, 3 to the left side. Washington, the deep man. Blue Valley North, only 3 down linemen. They creep those linebackers up. Let's see if they come after Igo. They motion Washington now to the left of Igo in the formation. High snap, they're going to give to Washington. He is through a hole, and he's into the end zone. Trey Washington from 3 yards away, and Derby leads now 16-10.
Yeah, Trey Washington's going to get credit for that, but I'm going to give this drive to Hunter Igo, coming up with a big punt return. And then how about that 3rd and long conversion where he called his own number on the option and goes up the right side for the first down. Just a huge change of momentum after the fumble. Get Blue Valley North to the ball. 3 and out. Great punt return. Touchdown here for Derby.
2nd touchdown for Trey Washington this afternoon. Siring on for the extra point. Hold down, kick up and through. 17-10, Derby on the high side on your ESPN Kansas City high school football game of the week.
Hi, Chiefs fans. This is Clark Hunt, the Sports Medicine and Performance Center.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
KSHSAA Independence and K233 DM Raytown, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM.
17-10 after the Trey Washington touchdown. Sirings kick high, end over end, angled near side is going to be taken by Pessa. Kicks on a yard deep into the end zone. Touchback, and now does the future Badger quarterback have an answer?
We'll see what the change is here for Blue Valley North. We didn't see much of a change in that first possession where it was really more of the same. Derby defense doing an outstanding job causing some fits for Mertz, and you got to get Pessa Kixon involved, whether it's throwing the ball to him out of the backfield, whether it's getting him engaged in the running game. Get your Michigan-bound running back commit involved, forcing this Derby defense to loosen things up on the passing attack. They're all in trying to stop Mertz on the passing attack.
3 right, 1 left, and the future Wolverine, Pessa Kixon, is to the left of Mertz in the backfield. Shotgun snap with time. Mertz running out of time, is going to step into a sack at the 15-yard line.
Just great coverage. Nobody open. Bring 3, bring 4, and rely on your back end to make great coverage, and they've done that all night long. We've not seen a team just literally shut down and lock onto these Blue Valley North receivers like this all season long. And Coach Clark thought that he had the defensive backfield to do it, and so far they have been absolutely right with the way that they're sticking in the hip pocket of every one of these receivers.
2nd and 15 now. They're going to fake to Pesic Hickson, throw a hitch route to Roberts, trying to make a man miss. He is going to get gang tackled at the 20-yard line, 5 yards and no more, and it sets up a 3rd down play.
And what's interesting is they're doing this with essentially their base defense out there. They're keeping their linebackers out there. They're not bringing in extra nickels or dimes. It's literally their base defense with their linebackers staying out there. They do make a little bit of an adjustment here, bringing another defensive back out onto the field, but normally it's just 3 or 4 defensive backs out there.
Linebacker Cade Lindsey is hobbled. He comes out of this game. 3rd and 9 for Blue Valley North. Mertz to throw. They send a delayed blitz. Mertz, they pick it up, throwing down the seam route into triple coverage. He overshot it. It's going to be 4th down.
Well, you just do not see Graham Mertz do that throw into double, triple coverage, but because of the pressure of the front 3 that time from Derby and great coverage on that back end, that's exactly what happened. 3 and out, and momentum is wearing green and gold right now.
And this Derby side getting real loud here in Emporia. Hey, by the way, St. Thomas Aquinas, their lead has been trimmed to 14. Wichita Northwest has made it 35-21. They trailed 35-0 in that game. And now they're tripping away at that lead now into the 4th quarter in that one. Burt out there with the rest of the punt unit for Blue Valley North, ready to give this back to the Derby Panthers, who are now clicking all of a sudden. In a 17-10 game, 6:46. And now they're going to motion out of that punt formation. Burt takes a step forward and now flags. And was there an illegal motion here against Blue Valley North? Instead, Andy Sims burns a timeout. No, it was an illegal formation. Never mind. They moved backwards 5 yards, and all sorts of confusion there from the Mustangs. I think they were trying to get Derby to jump.
Yeah. But still, even the 5 yards wouldn't have made much of a difference. It's Blue Valley North's just not clicking.
Not right now.
Nothing is working right now.
And again, they motion out of it. And again, that awkward motion, this time no flags. McCullough goes in motion. Burt will boot it away, and he gets rid of a high end-over-end kick. Fair caught at the 48-yard line of Derby.
Great field position for an offense that just has been clicking and marching down the field here lately.
6:40 to go, 3rd quarter. And yeah, the Panthers feeling themselves right now.
And Aquinas has just answered with a touchdown of their own. Play action pass wide open. And Aquinas is now up, 40?
41-21 pending that extra point kick. That is a giant play in that game. Aquinas with a little bit of wiggle room now. 6:40 in the 3rd quarter to go in our game. 17-10 Derby in control and out with the ball again. Igo is going to keep it straight up the middle. He is going to get met near the 50 and driven back a yard. They're going to give him 2 yards on 1st down.
If you're Derby, you're liking what's going on right now because the ball's not in Graham Mertz's hand and you're controlling the clock.
3 right, 1 left. Washington to the left of Hunter Igo. And now Derby taking their time a little bit offensively, playing with a lead, up 7 over the reigning champs. Igo is going to give to Washington, left side, trying to get to the edge. He will get to the edge. No run out of bounds near the 44-yard line, a yard shy of the 1st down marker.
Boy, this offensive line probably doesn't get enough credit for the job that they do, but they're just continuing to open up huge holes up front. They're winning their one-on-one battles head-to-head against this Blue Valley North defensive line.
Washington has had a monster game running the football. 150 yards and 2 touchdowns for Washington. 3rd and short situation. They send a man in motion to the left side. Igo drops the snap, picks it back up, wants to run. He is in trouble, and he is going to get decked. Back at the 45, losing a yard. And now 4th and 3 in a critical play in this game coming up.
Yeah, that just did not look good from the beginning. We saw both Hunter Igo and Trey Washington look back to the sideline multiple times. They were calling an audible. The snap was off. The timing was off. And Brandon Clark showing now he finally sends the punt team out there. Because I was going to say,
I did not expect that.
He waited quite a bit of time before sending the punt team. Now, this is a spot on the field where a fake punt might be possible.
Yeah, Blue Valley North is going to have to be aware. They keep their base defense out there despite the punt formation from Derby. They're not biting. Movement before the snap. The Mustang didn't come across. Syring is going to boot this one away, and they run into the kicker, and that's going to be a first down. The punt's going to be down at the 15. It's not going to matter, and Syring did a great job of selling it.
He will get an Oscar for that one. That one was, yes, L.J. Brown did touch him.
That's what he did.
But
he
literally touched him. It's like if you watch soccer, you see all these professional players flop all the time and over dramatic and sell it. There was a lot of that going on right there because that one was, he barely breathed on him, and we're going to get a 15-yard or a 5-yard penalty. I'm assuming enough just to get the first down for Derby, and Derby doesn't need any free handouts here to keep this momentum going their direction, and that was just a critical mistake, especially from a player that's a senior player, a guy that's been one of their stalwarts on the defensive line all season long, L.J. Brown.
But circle that one. We may be coming back to it. Running into the kicker on a 4th and 4, and now Trey Washington to give on a counter is going to be drilled by Nick Detmer at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress is going to give him a yard. Here comes second down, but boy, if Derby gets into the end zone or even gets points on this drive, you're going to be coming back to that one.
Boy, oh boy, that's selling it. But that you coach that on special teams. You don't want to tell a guy to pretend they're fake, but you do, and he sold it very, very well. Nice job by Syring.
Ball off the 38-yard line after Trey Washington's carry. 3 left, 1 right. Igo changes the play at the line. Now takes the snap, is going to give to Washington, left side. He pushes the pile forward to the 31, and it's going to be 3rd and a yard coming up for Derby.
Just that push. Blue Valley North has to know that is coming, has to know that this is Derby's M.O. They're just going to line up and run right at you. Got to stop it.
2 left, 1 right on the 3rd and short play. They're going to give to Washington right side, gets to the edge. He's got the first down and more. Picks up a block, and he's across the 25 down to the 22. There is a flag down near the 30-yard line.
I was going to wonder if they were going to catch that, but Kavion Walker right at the point of attack where Washington cut to the outside. He had a hold of Stefan Camper, Khalil Allen, and had a hold of him. And Detmer was also right there, and I think that's going to be right where they call the hold, because if he does not to make that block or that hold, Washington gets tackled for no gain. It's right
so
there.
That moves him back. And here is your redemption opportunity if you're the Mustangs. You just gave Derby a first down on a mental error, and now they back it up. It's going to be 3rd and 9. This is where you pin your ears back and go make a play.
It's also the time where you got to keep your eyes on Hunter Igo and his running ability. He has killed Blue Valley North all day long, running the football on 3rd and long situations.
3:40 to go, 3rd quarter, 17-10 Derby, and a 3rd and 9. Igo is going to roll right on the snap, look over the middle, make a pass that is going to be too high. Threw it about 3 yards too far for Kavion Walker down the middle. And it's going to be 4th down. And Brandon Clark, slow to call the punt team, hasn't done it yet. Again, 4th and 9. And now he calls the punt team on, and I would bet that Andy Sims does not send heat at Jackson Syring here.
And notice L.J. Brown has not been on the field since he made that play.
So Blue Valley North, for the moment, looks like they avoid any damage after that running into the kicker. Here's a low snap. Syring, no one around him this time. Lets off a punt off the side of his foot that is just high, and it is going to be fair caught at the 22-yard line. A punt that nets 17 yards, not what they were looking for.
No.
And Graham Mertz knows this offense could easily be starting this drive inside their own 10. Instead, they're out of their own 22-yard line. That's got to be a welcome sight.
Especially after you give up the running into the kicker. It could have been a disaster. It could have been a situation. You could have been down 2 scores. Now suddenly you're still only down 1 score. You haven't clicked at all in this 3rd quarter. You really haven't hardly been on the field at all on the offensive side of the ball this 3rd quarter. Now you have a chance to go back and try to snatch momentum back. Just one play away from making that happen.
Let's see what the future Badger can dial up here as we reach the end of quarter number 3. It'll be Pesek-Hickson on a counter, breaking ankle tackles, and he's across the 25. He picks up 4. That was nearly a loss of a yard, but the future Wolverine making a play.
And I think you got to do more of that. Make things where it's this Derby defense has to be more honest, and they can't sell out entirely on the passing game.
That was only the 7th carry for Pesek-Hickson. Empty backfield. 3 right, 2 left on a 2nd and 6 play. They're going to throw an out route near side. Eric Roberts scoots out of bounds for only 3 yards to the 29, and here comes 3rd and 3. I don't like that to the near side.
Yeah. And I see what they're trying to do, get the ball out of Mertz's hands quick. Let's see if maybe they get Hendershot involved. This was go-to range for him last week.
3rd and short. Cameron Burt is in the slot to the right side. Eric Roberts in the slot to the left side. Play clock inside 10. Mertz, they only send 3 at him. He's going to fire a hitch route left side. Nobody in the neighborhood, and it's going to be 4th down, and that is a head-scratcher from the Mustangs.
That just did not look right at all. Hendershot and Roberts ran into each other on their routes. One was trying to run a curl. One was going to try to run a post instead of an out. It just did not look good at all. And how about this Derby defense? Came into this game giving up only 7.25 points a game. And they're shutting down one of the most explosive offenses in Kansas high school football history right now.
Punt unit back out there for the Mustangs. With 2:55 to go 3rd quarter, it stays 17-10. Burt loads up a solid end-over-end kick. Hits at the 30, takes a high hop, and is going to roll and be down inside the 25 near the 21-yard line. Cameron Burt flips the field. But again, Derby back with the football, up 17-10. Last time forced to punt in Blue Valley North territory.
Doing their job. Derby's just has made the adjustments at halftime. They're executing on both sides of the football. Most importantly, they're just keeping the ball out of Graham Mertz's hands, and they just have done a masterful job of just confusing him and confusing his defense, his receivers. I mean, Tim, we've been around him enough his career to know that doesn't happen very often. I've never seen Graham Mertz look as confused as he is today. Credit this Derby defensive staff, bringing multiple looks, bringing multiple pressures, dropping 8, one play, next play, bringing 6 or 7. It's a chess match, and right now the Panthers are winning.
Can this Mustang defense make a play? Igo was going to run left on the snap, makes one man miss, cuts it up back inside, dragging a man across the 30. He's got a 1st down on a gain of 13. Hunter Igo out to the 34.
I tell you what, Tim, Hunter Igo can play for me. This kid's all heart. He's not going to blow you away. He's only 5'11", 160. And he's not the biggest, strongest, fastest kid, but he has so much heart, and he makes right decisions every single time.
Washington behind right guard gets dropped after a gain of 1.5 yards. Oh, false start.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
So that changes everything. Never mind.
Never mind what we said for the last 10 seconds. Just forget about it.
But now, if you can set up a return here, you can have your offense sitting pretty. 1:54 to go 3rd quarter, down 7. Hargens, he's elusive back there. Let's see if they give him a chance to field this kick.
Kind of waiting for the Mustangs just to make a big play like they've done all throughout the last couple of years.
High snap, Syring brings it down. Gets rid of a beautiful spiraling punt, sends Hargens back to the 30-yard line, and he's blown up right there by Dax Benway.
And that's Hargens trying to make a big play. But even bigger play by Dax Benway, making an open field tackle, because that's a tough tackle, because Hargens kind of going the opposite direction, and Benway just manages to make the great open field tackle. That being said, if you're the Mustangs and Andy Sims, your offense has been flustered. You've done nothing right all game long, but here you are, you're just down 7, and you've got the football, and your defense is playing great. So this is certainly not, it's not over. So you certainly got to feel like you're in this, right in the thick of this game, and it just takes one play we've seen all year long for this Mustang offense to get into the end zone.
It's time to go. 1:46 to play 3rd quarter in a 7-point game. Mertz looking left, throwing left, completing that hitch route to Sean Hendershot in a minuscule window for 10 yards.
That's a big-time throw right there, and we've been waiting for Hendershot to get involved. He was critical last week in that game against Olathe North, and He's not really been called upon much tonight, but right there comes up with a big catch. He's been playing a lot of tight end. I don't know if you noticed him. He's been doing a lot of blocking tonight, but right there gets out on the edge and makes a nice first down catch.
They move the chains. A catch of right at 10 yards for Hendershot. Out to the 38. Pessa kicks into the left of Mertz, who is going to give it to him. Pessa kicks and making men miss, and he's going to get out to the 39 and no further. He lost the football at the end of that. They think they're saying he's down, and it's going to be second down. But the Panthers pulled it away from there. Brandon Clark was out of the numbers, but yeah, he was down. 2nd and 9.
The Derby crowd did not like that he was down. But, again, you got to keep trying to feed the ball to Pessa Kickson in somehow, some way. You got to do everything you can to kind of keep this Panther defense honest. They've been selling out to the pass almost every single play.
They're going to give it to Pessa Kickson, trying to get to the edge near side. He will! He's across midfield, and he's out of bounds at the Derby 48-yard line. That is 12 yards and a first down.
That's why. That's why you got to keep going to the well to Pessa Kickson. And more success you have running the football there, the more success you're going to have throwing the football, because Derby's been selling out to the pass all game long.
Mustangs getting going on this drive. That's an option play. Mertz is going to keep it, and he is going to get spun around. Get stripped of the football, but the Mustangs are the first on it at midfield.
Tyler Dorsey. They teach that. They teach you're coached well by defensive staffs. You get the quarterback, get stood up, and then the next second, third, fourth guys come along and try to strip the ball, and that was Tyler Dorsey there. He stripped the ball for Mertz, and very, very fortunate that I believe Thumasi was right there behind it to pick the football up, because if he's not there, we have another fumble recovery, big change of momentum.
The clock ticks down to the end of quarter number 3. We head for the fourth, and a dogfight in that third quarter. Saw Trey Washington touchdown and a bunch of stops. 17-10 Derby. Mustangs trying to answer the call as we head to quarter number 4. You're watching the state championship game in Class 6A on ESPN Kansas City and A10varsity.com.
Tolman Insurance Agency in Kansas City says to honor and support our military and our veterans. Be their hero by donating blood at your local hospital. It's safe and simple. Your efforts may save an accident victim, a serviceman or woman, or someone you know. This message is courtesy of Tolman Insurance Agency, located at 406 West 34th Street in Kansas City. For all your insurance needs, call for a quote at 816-753...
Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathe, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
With an advisor, or just ask a question. The place to start today is etfstore.com.
We open up quarter 4 with a play fake. Mertz wants to go to the air. He's going to let go of a deep ball for Cameron Burt, who drops the football inside the 20. Oh, it was a giant play, and Burt, with his 6'4" frame, couldn't reel it in as it's 3rd and 12.
Okay, Tim, we saw something that we've hardly ever seen. Cameron Burt dropped a football. Cameron Burt dropped a football. He could not turn his body and get his hands turned the right direction. Somehow, some way, just not able to get that to come through. And if he catches that ball, Blue Valley North's in business inside the 15-yard line. And momentum suddenly on their side. Wow, what an unfortunate play for your Mustang fan.
The Mustangs have 23 pass yards since halftime. 3rd and 12. Opening moments of this fourth quarter. Mertz shouting instructions. Shotgun snap. Has time. Unloads for Burt on the comeback. Makes a fantastic catch on the sideline. He's got 14 and a first down. Oh, wow. How about that to yourself?
Yeah, you missed the play there, but then you come back and you make an even better catch. That was an incredible catch right on the sideline. More importantly, to get the catch, but then also get a foot down and to get the first down. Small window for Graham Mertz to throw that into, and he nailed it.
This is a guy that doesn't have any major offers. Drake, Stetson, Augustana, those are the offer lists for this 6'4", 200-pound dynamo receiver. 1st and 10 from the Derby 36-yard line. This is the best drive of the second half for the Mustangs. Mertz wants to go to the air, over the middle, incomplete, and then caught off the rebound, but they're going to say it hit the ground. There was a Derby receiver that dove for that one and popped it back into the air, but they're going to say it skipped off the turf before coming back into the air, incomplete. But off the rebound, that was almost a big play for the Mustangs.
Saw the replay here, and it did bounce off the ground. It did bounce off the ground, and Roberts wisely did everything he can to sell it. But he probably should have actually caught the football on the first opportunity because he was open.
2nd and 10. Can the Mustangs keep this drive churning, trying to tie this game at 17? 11:40 to go, fourth quarter. They're going to set up a toss play right side for Pesa-Kixon. Picks up one block, lowers the shoulder. He's to the 34-yard line, a gain of 3 yards. And here comes a big 3rd and 7, and a late flag flies. And there was a lot of talking going back and forth. Pesa-Kixon was in the mix. He was jawing. And this is a giant call in this game.
Yeah, and we saw pregame. Pesa-Kixon he wasn't shy about jawing with the Derby defensive players. There was some definite talk going back and forth in pregame. And Pesa-Kixon's hurt. He's bent over, doubled down.
Brandon Clark saying it's against Blue Valley North, and this is something for Pesa-Kixon that's haunted him. Basketball last year, I called 3 or 4 of their games. He had a technical foul in each game that I called. And he may have just really hurt his team. No, it is against the Panthers. Wow, and it is met with a chorus of boos from the Panther faithful here on the near side. A huge personal foul.
Well, Pesa-Kixon was reacting like he was being pushed after the play and acted like he was being physically injured after the play. And, we'll get a chance to see a replay here and see what happens here.
Let's see him pull it off. Yep, there it is. So as they were trying to get up, somebody pushed Pesa-Kixon back into the turf, and that's where the personal foul came from. So we have the opportunity to see the replay next to us, and we can confirm that was a good call. First down inside the 20 to the 18. Go the Mustangs after the big personal foul call on what would have been a 3rd and 7. Mertz wants to go to the air, loading up, taking a shot for the end zone. Jump ball is out of the back of the end zone and incomplete. Burt wanted a flag, didn't get it, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, but more importantly, just tremendous pressure again from Derby with only just 3 or 4 guys coming. And Jacob Ornsby, the middle linebacker, was one of those 4 guys coming, and he had Mertz on his back.
But again, Mertz airmailed that one maybe 4 or 5 yards out of the back of the end zone. And so even if Burt was getting tugged on, that's an uncatchable ball all day.
It looks like St. Thomas Aquinas has just wrapped up their first state championship, recovering an onside kick and bringing it back for a touchdown that will put them up 55-28 with under 2 minutes to play.
That's one EKL champ. Mertz is rolling left on the snap, getting pressured. He's going to fire an out route. It is low and incomplete, batted away by Dax Benway. And it's 3rd and 10.
Well, we saw them move the pocket, really come toward on the first times in this half here. And Benway right on the back of Burt. And nice coverage there. Almost pass interference, but just did enough to avoid the pass interference. But they did that a ton last week, Tim, and we saw it a little bit in the first half, but they kind of gotten away from it. But with the pressure that Mertz has seen, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of it because he has become a sitting duck back there with this pressure.
Huge 3rd down. The entire town of Derby is on their feet here in Emporia. Off the 18. Mertz ready to go to the air. Pressure in his face. Unloads a jump ball for the back pylon. Cameron Burt trying to stick that one with one hand. He couldn't hold on, and it's 4th down.
And Burt is upset with himself. Mertz just a little bit of a hair too long on the throw. Burt got open right at the end.
And offense stays out there
here. You got to go
here.
for it right now, right?
Because this is out of the range for Spencer Spranger. Everything that we've seen this season would indicate that this is not Spranger's range. 3 of 6 taking field goals this year. Now 4 of 7 after the earlier chip shot in that first half, and the offense will stay.
Look for Mertz to roll the pocket in some fashion.
3 right, 1 left. Derby crowd gets loud. Mert slaps his hands, rolls right on the snap, looking back to the left. He's got a man wide open inside the 15. That's Cameron Burt trying to make a man miss, stays on his feet, reaches for the line to get. He may be just short, and he is right at the sticks at the 9-yard line.
I think they stopped, and I think it was Terry Ginyard who made an unbelievable open field tackle on Cameron Burt.
Oh, he's short. Wow.
Unbelievable open field tackle by Ginyard because he had the first down.
Oh, and this crowd is erupting here in Emporia.
It was my guy versus your guy, and my guy was better than yours, and that was just an incredible, unbelievable open field tackle. I mean, it's hard to describe for those listening on the radio because it was a throwback pass to where Burt was so wide open. And somehow Terry Ginyard, the junior, came flying up and made the open field tackle, and he went low against Burt. Burt's 6'3", 200 pounds, and Ginyard's only 5'9", 140, and he somehow makes the amazing open field tackle. That's maybe the defensive play of the game right there.
And I think he was a little shocked that he was that wide open and kind of took his time getting out there. Washington blown up a yard deep in the backfield. And the Mustang defense right back to work, a loss of a yard.
Well, if you're Blue Valley North, you got to find a way to get the ball back quickly here because time, with the way that Derby loves to run the football, is now your enemy.
So 2nd and 11, and can the Mustangs pick themselves back up off the canvas? Igo is going to option it near side, makes one man miss, and he is going to get roped down at the 10. They only pick up 2 yards. 3rd and 9 coming up for Derby. 10:03 to go in your fourth quarter.
Yeah, this now comes the most critical play of the game if you're Blue Valley North. You have to find a way to get a stop and get the ball back to your quarterback.
And now that Blue Valley North side raises to their feet across the way. 3 left, 1 right. Derby off their own 11-yard line. Igo wants to go to the air. Looking left, throwing left. Has his man in the flat. It's Walker. He's across the 20. He's got a first down to the 22-yard line.
Nice open field throw by Hunter Igo. Simple pitch and catch. Kavion Walker wide open on the out route.
And now a man down for Blue Valley North back at the 10-yard line.
But, Tim, I want to go back to that 4th down play. What a great play call. Just outstanding play call. It worked, and I think Burt, as you kind of alluded to, thought that there was nobody even near him because he was so wide open, and then just out of nowhere, Ginyard comes flying up. And talk about laying your body on the line for a state championship. That right there was one of the most outstanding plays I've seen this season. Just unbelievable effort to get the big guy down like that. I mean, you don't expect Blue Valley North's go-to receiver to get tackled like that. You just don't.
But he catches that ball, and again, he turns, and there's one guy, but again, he's coming off like the 5-yard line, and he's not in a dead sprint. I mean, he sort of lets up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once he gets within 3 yards of the first down marker, he tries to turn it on. Again, I don't think he expected Ginyard to cover the amount of ground he did and gets hawked a yard short. But again, if you're Cameron Burt, you need to be in a dead sprint for that first down marker.
And Cameron Burt's been so outstanding his entire career that you don't want to be critical of a play that he's made because he doesn't make those plays normally. But right there, that was just one player laid it all on the line for his team to get to try to win a state championship, and the fact of the matter is that the other one just didn't.
1st and 10 out of the injury timeout. And can the Blue Valley North Mustang defense make another stand in a 17-10 game here? 9:27 to go, fourth quarter. Washington confused in the backfield. He goes to the left of Igo now. Igo is going to keep it right side out the back door. He pushes the pile forward to the 27-yard line, all the way up to the 28, 6 yards on first down.
Now Kansas City has won one state championship in Kansas Class 5A. St. Thomas Aquinas goes on to capture the victory 54-21 over Wichita Northwest. That's a nice victory for the Saints. So that one's done, and we should have a Bishop Miege final in Class 4A. They were up big earlier.
3 right, 1 left on a 2nd and 4 play. Igo, Statue of Liberty, is going to get broken up. Hunter Igo is buried at the 21. Mustangs all over that one, and it's 3rd and 10.
because Luka Ikovic did a nice job. The backup linebacker's been getting a ton of playing time today, and he just read that. He was right through there immediately. He wasn't fooled by the Statue of Liberty.
And they faked the Statue of Liberty. They didn't even give it to Washington. Igo kept it on the Statue of Liberty. And either that's designed or Washington maybe was on a different page than everyone else.
Well, this is now a critical must stop.
Giant play. 3rd and 10. Can Blue Valley North get off the field again? 8 minutes to play. Igo wants to go to the air. It's a quarterback draw. Hunter Igo breaking the arm tackles. Hunter Igo sidesteps one. Dragging a man. He's to the 30-yard line and 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Hunter Igo all heart. And does Brandon Clark keep the offense out there?
Oh, the punter's standing next to him. I mean, smart money is that you punt the ball, but this is... Man,
and here comes the punt unit.
I mean, that's the right call for Brandon Clark. The way your defense is played all season long, and then most importantly here today, you turn it over to your defense and hope that they can do another job against this high-octane Mustang attack that's been stuck in park all day long.
Keep an eye out for the fake. Siring instead is going to let go of a hammer. Hits it across the 20-yard line. Harkins is going to take it on a hop. Sidestep one. Sidestep another. Gang tackled at the 25 of Derby. And here comes Graham Mertz. 7:10 to go, 4th quarter, in the biggest moment of his high school football career.
It's now or never for Blue Valley North. Now or never.
Stage is set. Who's going to make the play? 17-10 Derby. Midway through quarter number 4. Mustangs were just down inside the 20-yard line. Went for it on a 4th and 9 play. And Cameron Burt came up a yard short. But they forced a punt. They've got it back. And they'll take over from their own 25-yard line. Going left to right. Can Mertz do it again? 4 receivers in the formation. For one of the best prospects at quarterback Kansas City has seen in a real long time. Has 1 state title under his belt. He's got to come back in 2018. He's going to fire a hitch route complete near the 30-yard line. Thupmasi, 5 yards on first down.
It doesn't all have to come on one play. Take with what this defense is giving you. And they've been giving him the underneath passes all day long. They just haven't been patient enough to take some of those ones. So wouldn't be surprised if we see them try to dink and dive down the field.
Second down pass is incomplete over the middle. They were looking for Thupmasi again. Here's a giant 3rd down play.
His game is not final quite yet, but it's 69-24. Bishop Miege well on their way to another state championship.
That's 2 EKL champs. Mustangs also a member of the EKL, but they're in trouble. 3rd and 5, 6:44 to go in the 4th quarter. They sprint to the line. 3 receivers bunch to the right. Mertz, quick snap, under pressure, is going to zip an out route too far and incomplete for Thupmasi, and it's 4th down.
And the punt team looks like it's going to come on.
They will.
And Andy Sims trusts his defense and credit this Derby Panther defensive line again to get pressure. It's nothing fancy. They're not bringing 5, 6, 7 guys. They're bringing their front 4, and their front 4 got through, got home, and forced Mertz to throw off the back foot incomplete. That play just did not look good at all. That drive did not look good at all. Credit this Panthers defense for being as good as advertised.
No one deep for Derby, and Cameron Burt with a high punt. Again, no one back. It hits at the 30, checks up, and takes a Derby roll, and will be down near the 33-yard line. Will we see Graham Mertz again with a chance to tie? 6:29 to play in the 4th quarter, and here comes Derby, trying to ice away their 3rd title in 4 years. But this Mustang defense, they've been up to the task all game.
This has been an outstanding. I mean, we knew the Derby defense was going to be really special, but the job this Mustang defense has done to keep them in this game. I mean, this game feels like it's a 10, 17 point game difference, but the way that this Mustang defense continues just to keep them in this game is pretty amazing. Now, if you're Derby, it's all about ball protection. We have seen Washington put the ball on the ground once, but Igo's been great with it. Don't be surprised if we see Igo carry the heavy load here on this drive.
Igo is going to option play near side. Igo with a lot of room. Hunter Igo across the 40-yard line, 9 yards on first down. And he adds to his total 137 yards on the ground for Hunter Igo. And now a man down for the Mustangs. Late into this fourth quarter, 6:15 to go.
Yeah, I think Brandon Clark knows he wants this game, this state championship, on the shoulders of his senior leader, Hunter Igo. Again, this is a kid who, we came into the season and he wasn't expected to be the quarterback. He was going to be the safety, and then an injury from, I believe it was Grant Adler. Yes, Grant Adler, the junior quarterback. He won the job coming into the season. An injury to his arm forced Igo to take over the reins in that Bishop Carroll game, and they've not looked back since. And he just personifies what this Derby program is about. It's toughness, it's physicality, it's coming every single day to practice and working hard and not making mistakes. And when you have a state championship on the line, you're going to put it on the shoulders of your senior quarterback. And right now, that senior quarterback's Hunter Igo, and it's his time to put this one away.
Khalil Allen, the injured Mustang, limps off the field on the far side. A 2nd and 1 coming up for the Derby Panthers, who have seen Trey Washington carry it 21 times for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns this afternoon. Again, it has been all on the ground for Derby. 6:09 and rolling in this fourth quarter. From the 41-yard line of the Panthers, a 2nd and a yard. Igo shotgun snap, gives to Washington, has the first down, making men miss across midfield. Trey Washington in the open field. Can he go inside the 10, inside the 5? Trey Washington, it loses the football out of the end zone. They're going to give him the touchdown. He almost lost that ball. Andy Sims is out here. He was getting that stripped as he was going into the end zone. We're going to be able to see the replay. It's not going to matter. They've given him the touchdown. Yeah. But now Andy Sims is hot. This defense is hot. They think they had that ball. It came loose at the end. Trey Washington has got Derby up 2 scores, and we're going to see it right now on the replay. Did Trey Washington get caught, and did he lose that football before he crossed the pylon? He did. Oh, my goodness. It should have been a touchback. Trey Washington got caught, but they give him the touchdown. The biggest play of the season is going to be under scrutiny. Unbelievable.
You got to give Stephon Camp all the credit in the world for not giving up on the play. But the bend but don't break Blue Valley North defense finally broke. And Trey Washington took it down the left sideline, and he thought he was home free. He did not see Camp coming up from behind him, and Camp, as the replay showed, did strip it right before he got to the goal line. The ball did go out of the end zone unrecovered. It would have been a touchback, and it would have been Blue Valley North's football.
5:50 to go in the ball game. Extra point kick is up and through. 24-10 Derby in full control. Boy, what a play that was. And now a knife through the heart of the Mustangs. We step aside of your 6A state title game on ESPN Kansas City and 810varsity.com.
Credit products are made by WebBank. Rates and terms vary based on credit history. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
How did I get into credit card debt? A trip to the emergency room.
Car repairs.
Moving expenses?
There's a million ways to get into credit card debt, but one sure way to start getting out. Avant. Avant offers access to online unsecured loans from $2,000 to $35,000 at competitive rates and no extra charges for paying back early. Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. The application takes minutes, and if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time Monday through Friday, funds are deposited as soon as the next business day. And now Avant will also give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your loan options and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 7171 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 7171. Avant.com, code 7171.
Again, we just saw the replay during the commercial a second time, and Washington lost the football before crossing the plane. A missed call, and Derby is up 2 scores in the state title game with 5:50 to go in your contest. Siring hammers this kick into the end zone, a touchback.
High school football, we do not have instant replay, and I think if we do have instant replay, that one's called back in. That's a tough call. I'm going to give the referees a little bit of a benefit of doubt because that's tough call. But there was the back judge right on the line, the end zone, staring right into the play. It was bang. It was bang, Tim. That's so tough. I refereed baseball when I was younger, and those bang calls are the ones that will haunt you for the rest of for days.
Yeah. It's tough to be.
It's tough, but the replay shows that it was a fumble, and now. But this game's not over yet. Graham Mertz has the ability to get this team back into it, but he's got to score quickly here.
Mertz loading up, taking a shot down the middle for Burt. He is caught it across the 40-yard line. Cameron Burt, a monster play as he hops up quickly. They're trying to get the offense on the football. 5:42 to go. They still got time. They need 6 on this drive. And all of a sudden.
And they most importantly got 3 timeouts, so you got to score, got to go quickly. Gotta go.
At the Derby 40, can Graham Mertz give the Mustangs life here near the end of the fourth quarter?
They don't like the body language. They've given up 20 extra seconds here just to get this play call, and you got to go quicker.
5:25 to go in the ball game. Mertz shotgun snap. They only send 3 players at him. Has time. Now a delayed blitz. He steps past it. Mertz looking right. Unloading a deep ball. Hendershot got held up. Still holding it inside the 5. He's in the end zone. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds, but it's going to be a pass interference call as Hendershot was getting beat up on the near sideline.
Yeah, I think he was out of bounds. I mean, at least from the naked eye, it looked
he was
like
out
he
of
was
bounds.
out of bounds when he made the catch. But he was getting mugged.
They're having a discussion about holding or pass interference because I think he stepped out of bounds. If we look at the replay, and again, these guys don't have the opportunity to see the replay, but yeah, there's the pass interference call, and they may have been having a discussion about that or a hold. That was, I mean, they were doing everything to get Hendershot away from getting open down the field.
That's a great play by Graham Mertz just to continue to step up into the pocket.
Yeah, he's out of bounds.
I mean, he was a good yard out of bounds for a second and then came back in. But that's just vintage Graham Mertz right there.
Well, to the Derby 25 after the penalty. And you know they're still hot, though, because if Hendershot isn't held up on the route, he's probably got 6. So they're upset about that. But they still get the penalty yardage to the Derby 25. 5:14, clock stopped here in the fourth quarter. 2 left, 2 right. Mustangs down 14, 24-10. Mertz wants to throw. They send a delayed blitz at him. He's going to let one go for the end zone. Has stopped. Mossy, hold it in. Oh, he took it away from the defender. And Graham Mertz has got the Mustangs right back in this game.
This one is not over, Tim. What an answer by Blue Valley North. They've been stuck in park all game long. Nothing's been working. But when it came time to make a big touchdown drive, the senior quarterback comes up with an outstanding pass. Tomasi goes up and gets the pass for the touchdown, and now they're going to go for 2 points here.
He wrestled it away from Dax Benway. The offense back out there. They want to go for 2, make it a 6-point game. It's 24-16. Empty formation, 3 left, 2 right. All timeouts remain for both teams. 5:07. That was a 43-second scoring drive. Mertz claps his hands. They will go for 2. He's going to fire an out route left side. Too far for Pesic Hickson. And that is a giant play in this game. Incomplete. It stays an 8-point lead. And we step aside on ESPN Kansas City and 810varsity.com.
This holiday season, free your family from the one-size-fits-all plan. With Verizon, one family can get different unlimited plans because the gift of unlimited is a gift for all. For even more holiday joy, get the Samsung S9 with its revolutionary dual-aperture camera, perfect for capturing holiday moments. Head to a Verizon store now or visit vzw.com.
Less taxes and fees, auto-pay, checks, home banking, or debit card only, and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Only after 22 gigabytes a month on Beyond Unlimited and 75 gigabytes a month on Above Unlimited.
Happy holidays from 810 and Family Leisure. We want to wish you health and happiness during this wonderful holiday season. And nobody gets you together with your family like Family Leisure, your one-stop shop where family and fun come together. Right now, Family Leisure has incredible deals on pool tables, arcade games, bars, hot tubs, and anything for your backyard or basement.
Coming back.
Shop now for the fastest delivery. And Family Leisure has small presents too. Pool cues, banners, and much more. Mention 810 and save more at Family Leisure in Olathe.
Awesome!
A head scratcher after the touchdown to Thutmose. The offense goes for 2. They fail to get it, and it remains an 8-point game. And there's no injury to the kicker. Spencer Spranger has got it keyed up, ready to kick it off. So that was all Andy Sims wanting to go for 2.
Yeah, would be interested to find out what the reasoning was behind that.
5:07 to go, fourth quarter. Still a one-score game, but now you have to have a 2-point conversion if you're Blue Valley North and get the ball back. This pick is going to be fielded at the 5-yard line by Washington. He is going to get scrummed down at the 19 by a bunch of white jerseys, and here comes Derby. Can they ice it away, or will the Mustangs be able to give Mertz another shot?
We've seen Trey Washington twice fumble the football. Yes, he's going to get that credit for that touchdown run there, but that was technically a fumble, and then he had a fumble earlier in this half. It's going to be all on Hunter Igo here if I'm Derby. I almost forced the play calling into where it's Hunter Igo and nobody else touching the football on this drive. But on the flip side, if you're Blue Valley North, you have to know that that's going to be what's coming.
And there's one other side of that coin. Andy Sims lit into the officiating crew after that touchdown that didn't get called a fumble. Any loose ball here, you would imagine the referees are going to err towards a fumble now. I mean, again, it's a mute point if the ball's not fumbled, but if it is, they just got a lick from Andy Sims on that last touchdown. They're going to open up on the ground. Hunter Igo on a keeper. He's out the back door across the 25. He has got a first down across the 30 as he powers his way to the 32.
There you go. It's been their bread and butter play all game long, all season long. Hunter Igo, zone read, pull it, and go out, as you said, out the back door, follow the pulling blockers, and scoot up the field for a big game.
They were chanting overrated after that touchdown. The Derby side was.
Got to keep in mind, Derby that is the number 1 team in Class 6A and has been all season long. So, kids.
1st and 10, 4:30 to go in this ball game. Blue Valley North still has all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to keep it on the ground with Washington, trying to get to the edge. There is a play that should have been a block in the back.
Yep.
It's going to be out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 13 and a first down. And again, I do not like to talk about officiating crews, but again, that one seemed pretty obvious.
Kendall Hargens got blocked in the back at the point of attack, and if he's not blocked in the back, he makes the tackle for a 3 or 4 yard loss. I was watching it in my binoculars, and again, we don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care who wins or loses this game, but that one was a missed one by the side judge in the back and the white hat. To be honest, it happened right in front of them.
In the aftermath of this one, there are going to be some upset people, no matter who wins, about some calls that have been made today. Hunter Igo is going to keep it left side, hard running across midfield. Hunter Igo is down to the 48 of Blue Valley North, 6 yards on first down.
Well, you got to start winning first down if you're Blue Valley North. They've done a good job of that in the second half here, but this is Hunter Igo and Derby power football to perfection.
Inside 4 to play. Washington the deep back. North needing a stop to give themselves a shot. They want to get Graham Mertz on the field one last time with a chance to tie the game. Down 8, 24-16. Igo is going to give to Washington, spinning past 1, diving for the first down. He's got it across the 45. And now it's do or die time. 2 first downs should end it for Derby.
Yeah, the good news if you're a Mustang fan is that you do have all 3 of your timeouts that can extend this game as much as possible.
A first down here doesn't end it, but once you have to start reaching into your bag for those timeouts, then it becomes critical. From the Blue Valley North 45, do the Mustangs have 1 stop in them? 2 left, 2 right. Igo is going to keep it on the snap, running right side. He ducks across the 41 down to the 40, 5 yards on first down. And Andy Sims
there's a timeout.
Takes a timeout.
Boy. Just it's been a great high school football game regardless. What a great atmosphere. Both fan bases showed up and have represented today, but just still kind of shaking my head at that 2-point call. Granted, it's still, Blue Valley North's would have to score again one more time, but makes things difficult. And then you go back to the what should have been a fumble instead of a touchdown. There's just a lot of what ifs, and I think if you're Blue Valley North, you're probably saying you didn't play your best football at all today.
No,
and you still have a chance to a break go your way. You still have a chance to win this game.
But I think it is solidified that this Derby defense, they are the real deal.
They are. Couple final scores here on the Missouri side. Fort Osage will play for a state championship, beating Columbia Battle 46-30 in the Class 5 semifinals. Class 4, how about this? Webb City falls.
Wow.
To Lord Horton, 17-13.
Second and 6, high snap. Washington is going to have 4 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 2 straight up the middle.
And Smithville does fall also to MICDS. So some interesting situations going on, and we still have that big Rockhurst versus CBC game here tonight. 2 state championships have already been decided on the Kansas side, impacting Kansas City teams. Class 5A goes to the St. Thomas Aquinas Saints. Congrats to Randy Dreiling and his crew for pulling off that one. What a memorable run from start to finish. Everybody, remember the beginning of the season, Tim? We thought that this Aquinas team might be the team that finally broke through, and they did it in convincing fashion. And every single big game they managed to be challenged and have a bullseye on their back, and credit to them for going out and then winning the whole thing. And then Bishop Miege doing what Bishop Miege does, winning the Class 4A state championship here. And we're still not done here. This one, it's obvious this is a must-stop play here on the next couple of plays. You have to imagine Derby's going to go for it on 4th down if they don't get the first down here. So this is it. This critical plays. You want to win a state championship, you have to find a way to step up and make a play on the defensive side of the ball.
3rd and 2, they're going to have 2 shots at it. Washington is not going to get there. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 2. Timeout, Andy Sims, and here is your title game on the line on one play.
Yeah, and if you're Derby, and if you're Blue Valley North, you're knowing this play call is going to run through Hunter Igo. You got to let Hunter Igo run the football here. If you're Derby, and if you're Blue Valley North, you have to know that Hunter Igo is going to probably keep the ball in his hands and run that zone read kind of counter option that's been so effective for them all game long. It's just in case you got to stop it. You know it's coming. You just got to stop it now, and we'll see which team can bow up and make a play when it absolutely matters.
2:58 to go in your ball game. Andy Sims has burned all 3 of his timeouts on these last 3 downs. So a first down here on a 4th and 2 wins you the state title if you're the Derby Panthers, because from there you'll just be able to take a knee and just about take it down to the end of the clock. Here we go. Out of the timeout. The Panthers 2 yards away from their 3rd title in 4 years.
Can't imagine they will get cute with this, and it's just going to be bread and butter play.
Here we go. 3 right, 1 left for the state title. Hunter Igo in the shotgun. Trey Washington to his left. Can the Mustangs make one play, or do the Derby Panthers reign again? Igo, hard count, is going to keep it. Left side, he is pushing the pile forward. He's got the first down. A hard run from Hunter Igo, and the senior quarterback wills his way across the line to gain, and the Derby Panthers are going to claim 6A again.
Nothing fancy. You knew it was coming if you're Blue Valley North. Problem is, you have to stop it. Now, this last couple of 2 minutes and 53 seconds, it's all about ball protection, ball protection, ball protection. You got to make sure you hold on to the football. Be smart with every single touch. Make sure the center quarterback exchange is right on the money.
North cannot stop it. We're inside 2.5 to play. Play clock is going to go all the way down. Igo is going to keep it. On a counter, Hunter Igo is going to get tripped up. No, he still goes across the 25. He moves the chains again. Hunter Igo doing it all on the final drive.
And that's a case of Blue Valley North trying to strip the football from him instead of tackling him, and that's just the will of one of the best, just pure high school football players in the state of Kansas. Hunter Igo, probably not going to go win a bunch of college scholarships a bunch of places, but he's a kid that can win you a state championship, as he's going to do here today for the Derby Panthers.
Now we're going to creep inside 2 minutes. And again, the Mustangs cannot stop it. Still running their offense. Igo right side. He is going to be down to the 15-yard line. 9 more yards.
Boy, it's just
gashing them.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming. You just can't stop it.
And this is shades of that Derby Blue Valley game from 2 years ago where Derby just imposed their will on that Tiger defense. And now down the stretch, that's what they're doing to this Mustang defense. They are gassed. They've been on the field the majority of the day.
Yeah.
Derby controlled time of possession in this game.
Hands on hips, but a valiant effort by this Blue Valley North defense. I mean, seriously, if you'd told me only 24 points would have been scored by this Derby offense, I would have taken Blue Valley North's chances in this game 9 out of 10 times.
Brandon Clark takes a timeout. 1:21 to go in your ball game. A 2nd and 1, and this one is going to be tough to swallow for Blue Valley North. And Derby, I think, again, you can go back to the missed calls and everything like that, but this defense, you can't take anything away from them.
No. They're the ones that made arguably the best high school football player, and we've seen in the last decade in the state of Kansas, look human.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And no one has done that. Nobody has done that. Yes, they did lose games early this season. Bishop Miege did make Blue Valley North look human early on, but that was week 1, and Blue Valley North's receivers were dropping balls all over the place. It was a new system, new scheme. And Blue Valley somehow did manage to beat them in week 2, but that wasn't out Mertz at 100% either. So they've done something that few have been able to do this in the entire last couple of seasons.
Igo runs left. He's going to get tripped up a yard deep in the backfield, and it's going to be 3rd down, but that clock is going to roll inside of a minute to go now in the ball game. They spot it back at the 18-yard line. Actually, they lose 4 yards on that play. But now we're inside of a minute. Play clock at 20 seconds. And a 30-second play clock, if you're trying to do the math in your head. Even if this play was downed in a second, you're still looking at getting the ball back with maybe 4 seconds if you're Blue Valley North. Igo, high snap, gives to Washington, who is going to fight across the 15. It's not going to matter anymore. He's got the 1st down. And now the celebration is underway.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag down. 36 seconds.
Maybe a little pile. Oh, they're going to call.
And even if it's on Derby, I mean, what do? You accept the penalty and give him another 3rd down snap. It's a hold, so it's not going to matter because the clock is still at 36 seconds.
Well,
and again, you're able to kneel it out now.
Yeah. Well, let's put things in perspective, Tim. I know this is not going to go Blue Valley North's way, but we're the Kansas City radio station, so let's still talk about the job that Andy Sims has done to resurrect this Blue Valley North program.
Kidding.
State championship last season, state runners-up this season. It is just amazing to put into perspective how different things are around there. And they're going to be good. I mean, they're not going to go away. Yes, Graham Mertz is a once-in-a-generation type of player, but they have a guy by the name of Henry Martin who did throw for 600 yards, backing up Graham Mertz this season, and especially when it came down to injuries. So this thing's not going to fall apart anytime soon.
No.
So Blue Valley North should be good again next season. But credit to Brandon Clark.
And there it is.
And
they take one more snap, and now the celebration is on. The fans out of the back of the end zone are ready to mob this Panther club, who are back on top of Kansas 6A, their 3rd state title in the last 4 years. It's their 4th state title in the last 6 years. They won it in 2013, won it in 2015, 2016, back-to-back. And after losing last year to this Mustang team, they get revenge on this Saturday in late November. Take it down, Blue Valley North, 24-16 to capture another state title for Brandon Clark. It is the 4th state title for Derby behind Brandon Clark, their 5th in school history. And it was a show of power today from this Derby defense. The Derby offense did what they needed to do. And an 8-point victory for the Panthers in the 6A state championship game.
Tim, this is, again, it was a historically good defense. And then they proved it. They proved that they are one of the best defenses in Kansas high school football. Not just this season, but the entire probably history of Kansas high school football. Just the numbers that they put up, only giving up 7 points a game, giving up only 16 points to a team that averages almost 35, 38 points a game, to a 5-star quarterback that has shredded people his entire career. Just enough offense, but this defense is so special. And you knew Brandon Clark, he was excited about it. He knew that this defense was special, and they came out and here improved it tonight.
Hundreds of students out of the back of the end zone here at Emporia State, and they are ready to mob this team. Like I was just saying, they are back on top of Kansas Class 6A after a 1-year hiatus.
Yeah.
But again, they were in this game a year ago and lost in heartbreaking fashion. This year they make the plays late in the game. And like I said, this is their 3rd state title in 4 years and their 4th in 6 years. The Panthers back on top. The students out onto the field. And you see just a small grouping of the enormous Derby crowd that was here this afternoon to watch the Panthers claim their 5th state title in program history. And Blue Valley North, their season ends in disappointment. Runners up to one of the best defenses Kansas has seen in quite some time. Some final numbers for you real quick before I get your final thoughts. Trey Washington, 27 carries, 242 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Derby. Hunter Igo, 35 carries, 187 yards. He was a workhorse, especially late into this 4th quarter. Igo through the air, 5 of 14, 59 yards. And on the other side for Blue Valley North, Graham Mertz, 18 of 37. He was held under 50% completion, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns. Through the air, Cameron Burt was his go-to man, 6 catches, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns shy of tying that Kansas State touchdown receiving record of 23 in a season. Amont Massey, 3 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Eric Roberts, 6 catches for 44 yards. Amari Pesa-Kixon, 10 carries for 44 yards. Also caught a pass for 6 yards. And your final again, 24-16. Derby take down the Blue Valley North Mustangs. And Jeremy, your final thoughts on a Derby State Championship?
Well, coming in, I think many people thought Derby was going to be the favorite, and their defense proved to be legitimate. But I'm going to go back and just take a second to reflect on what we just saw for the last couple seasons from Graham Mertz and Blue Valley North. The numbers that he put up, the records that he broke, the state championship, the district championships, the EKL championships, everything that they did was first class. And he's on his way to play football at the University of Wisconsin, and the Badgers have gotten themselves a outstanding player, but maybe more importantly, just an even better kid overall. He's put this team on the back. Everybody in the state of Kansas knew for the last 2 seasons that he was going to be hoisting the ball almost every single play, but it couldn't be stopped. And that's what kind of puts in perspective what Derby did today. But this has been a special run for Blue Valley North the last couple of years. They're going to be talking about this run from Graham Mertz and this crew for the last 2 years, probably for decades. And it's something I know I'll never forget watching, because I've seen a lot of great high school football in Sunflower State, and Graham Mertz will go down to me as one of the best ever.
He will walk off a high school field for the final time. And he will do it in a losing effort, 24-16. To his credit and to the Mustangs' credit, they fought deep into this fourth quarter. But again, they ran into an absolutely loaded Derby Panther team who does it on the strength of their ground game and the strength of their defense. I was mentioning it this week. This was the best scoring defense we have seen in 6A for at least the last 12 years. And to shut this Mustang offense down to only 16 points, it is a credit to what Brandon Clark has done with this program. Derby wins it 24-16. 2 EKL teams win state titles. Unfortunately, the Mustangs are not one of them, and the Derby Panthers are kings of 6A one more time behind Brandon Clark. For Jeremy Crabtree, I am Tim Spurl signing off one more time for your ESPN Kansas City and Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week. Basketball starts next week for both of these schools. For the rest of the Kansas City area, we're looking forward to that. We'll be back in this booth come August. For Jeremy Crabtree, I'm Tim Spurl. Have yourselves a good night.
You're listening to High School Football on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Brought to you by the McCarthy Auto Group. With 7 convenient locations spanning Missouri and Kansas. Go to KCCars.com. And by A&B CarStar. If you've been in an accident, call 816-741-6966. A&B CarStar. Relax, we'll take it from here.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news,